10 seconds.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant's turn to ban.
Absolutely perfect.
Dyer's turn to pick.
Normally.
Radiant's turn to pick.
Enchantress.
Seconds.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant's turn to pick.
Dyer's Tide Hunter. 10.
Absolutely perfect.
10 seconds.
5 seconds remaining.
The Dyer get a ban.
Elder Titan.
You know what's cooking. You know what's cooking. You know what's cooking. Boom!
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Baby. Absolutely perfect.
10 seconds.
5 seconds remaining. Here's the Radiant ban.
Dyer's ban now. Ten seconds.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant's turn to ban.
Absolutely perfect.
10 seconds.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant's turn to pick.
Dyer's turn to pick. 10 seconds.
5 Radiant's seconds turn remaining. to pick.
Tiny. Dire's turn to pick.
Templar Assassin.
Ten seconds.
5 seconds remaining.
盾，但是后续残局应该还是不太打得了。
这一波正面打起来的话，潮汐猎人大招加上一个人马两脚踩，虽然说输出和这个控制是打得很平，杀掉了对面的幽鬼，但是第二时间小小是放出了自己的 VT2连，打在了这一个 TA 身上，因为 TA 的盾是让给了米波，所以说是 TA 直接被秒了，而米波。 感觉没吃出来吧，因为潮汐猎人踩大之后，人马接两脚踩，他是没醒过来的。
对他传过来，中路是没来得及吃，然后下路那个位置就不用吃。
这一盘的话，我看小鹿是还在做点金手，因为感觉前期他好像有点小无敌的那一段时间被毛鸡刮死了2次，有点落后了。
开始想配合幽鬼打中后期了。
对的，反正前中期的话就主要靠这个自己的标枪去打输出，自己就再也不会扛了。要扛的话 Thompson 去。
Dire are scanning for
这
enemy.
盘 Miracle 的这个出装和上一盘 W33就不一样，对吧？上一盘 W33是在暗面之后补了一个跳刀，发现每一波切入进去之后自己人没了。
对。
而 Miracle 的话，他是直接暗面之后跳刀的，
Pressure.
让自己在团战中的一个生存概率会得到一个大大的增强。只有活着才有输出。
定位也不太一样，很多时候 W33那个中路收藏像是一个中单1号位。
对。 哇，这一波的话 ，Crocky 是3匹人马加上一个网怪，他的一个先后手是可以拉满的，在 gank 端。如果打团的话，配合潮汐猎人大招的话，是可以自己提供3角 AOE 的踩。
就是他带队推了中塔，然后米波
网住了
，TP 打断了。我们看米波
忽悠过来，再网有没有？看距离可能不太够。
有人 TP 了，踢过来是一个拉比克，拉比克第1塔在找，但是幽鬼有幽鬼之刃能够隔地形，再一张网，这张网也网到了盲网，再续一张网，看一下第3只狗过来还能再续网，幽鬼已经被 A 了半血，虚灵刀给上去，
还有
网，
网住动不了，
若华能留取，往外丢，这个位置看3匹狗一起忽悠带走幽鬼，这一波安娜没走掉。
这波是 W33立功了，这就是一个完全凭借意识的一个网。
是的，
第一张网网住了之后，幽鬼就走不了了。其实，因为他的网是无限的。
对，这波 W33是真的有点秀，
给力了啊！
给力了，
配得到这个决赛中单的这个水平了。但这一盘他好像打的不是中单，是1号位。
对
吧？
就反正配得上决赛核心的位置嘛。
是的，
就跟之前小组赛已经完全是2个人了。
其实 W33在这一支队伍里面也是在整个 TI 的过程中，也在慢慢融合，慢慢的进步。
我觉得是进步了很多。就他刚到液体的时候，综合能力有点差，然后到现在的话。 好很多了，
因为你看他们小组赛玩的都是些什么东西啊？配 W33中路放个核心，结果 Miracle 都是边路打个什么蓝猫火猫那种，
对，
打到后期就自然没了。
是的，就是奇迹哥被迫去边路打架的核心带节奏。
是的，但是后来想想这样还是不太靠谱，对吧？现在还是转换过来了，
找到了正确使用 W33的手册。
来看一下这一波是幽鬼刚更新出辉耀的第1波，而潮汐猎人带着大招。 不过有没有什么装备上的更新啊？他的虚灵刀已经很久了啊，跟了一个球，再出大影刀
就还是 W33式的出装嘛。
对的，惯用出装。不过这一盘大影刀是有说法的，因为对方有个优。
这边是破物陷阱，巨浪跳毛鸡半血没了。这里面看小鹿看3只猪被网住了，人马还有2脚踩的，古法赶紧输1下血。这个位置踩大牛踩晕了后面的人马，但是还有一个没踩到。同时我们看中路开始对这边的幽鬼动手，中路没网到，上路也没杀成。
我感觉这一波好像没沟通好。如果说是 W33直接去网这个小鹿，小鹿动不了，直接把这个小鹿就杀了。
想太多了。然后OG马上一波开雾想要反打。
OG 要反打比较难，因为对方的一个阵地团战有点太厉害了。
大牛第一时间是在上路兵线上，中路是不在的。
Miracle 这一次卖，然后把这个线清掉，自己是没有什么生命危险。
盛唐已经想动手了。 隐匿过来一下，半血又没了，这伤害太高了呀！
直接吃一个大药。
对的，还想过来再打断大药，开了自然之柱，再一刀，哎，兄弟，
绿杖没问题，
绿杖赶紧开一下，给上巨浪减速，绿杖时间马上要到了，隐匿过来再一刀，血 血量很残，自然术已经开过了，古法摔了一下，赶紧给输血吗？他选择是抽的盛唐的血，把盛唐逼走了。
说实话，这杀的确实是有那么一点吃力。我第一次看到一个人头上能同时顶3个这个引力以及破甲的标志的。VT2连想要打个突如其来的爆发秒掉 Miracle， 但是不太可能，因为他的物理辅攻和丢数的伤害是没跟上的。
全部的狗都在，拆迁速度太快了，网住小路，队友推一手。
直接就是2到3路了。如果他们稳一点的话，会撤退。
上路兵线其实已经来了，
他们拆起来根本不需要兵线，因为有米波在，拆起来非常非常快。
有一个过来拿命想要填的小小，把潮汐丢进来，丢到小鹿脸上，但潮汐很肉。看一下优北这个时候也复活了，顶上一个笛子，顶上一个梅肯。我们看这个位置反而是大牛被秒
大牛。
是的，秒掉大牛，大牛选择了一个买活，幽鬼开大招过来，2秒 Miracle 正常开 BKB 小鹿推进出冷刀，把 TP 的 Miracle 给带走了。大牛猎地沟壑是放空了，没有能够吸到人。 往前想继续再。
He found mind control. A second kill here for OG. We are the round and it is the safety jack. He's there. He's the grip for the heel and it's still alive. Steps into the side. Throws down the impetus and we are falling low. GH cannot save him. We are dead. OG. They'll hold on to the game. They may have lost their ranks, but they team one, team Liquid. That's the one they've been looking for.
And No-Tail finally is able to be an Elder Titan in the game where he can stand next to the agility heroes. We see how much damage Ana is able to do inside of that one. No-Tail's just standing next to both of them the entire time. Liquid jumped in too far forward. Miracle
They get in the Roshan.
BKB.
At least they're trying. There'll be a buyback from GH. There's got to be more buybacks if Liquid want to try and force OG away. Jax.
More buybacks.
He's already up to the high ground. They do have the Ravage still on mind control. Mind control. He's looking for that option. He's stepping in, stops from No-Tail.
Ravage.
Does get it out. No follow-up though. It's a bit of a Ravage. And then a death. Mind control. There's no follow-up.
That's me.
They've lost 2.
Oh god.
As Liquid, they throw bodies into the pit. But not enough. And not at the right time. As OG, they'll get Roche. They'll get the Aegis, the Chiefs, and an Aghanim's from
Aghanim's for No-Tail. He picked it up instantly.
He picked it up.
He wants to get in.
Yeah, he's the captain.
I mean, that tells me that he wants to be...
Yeah.
Wait, how much... So, with Meepo,
okay.
you're actually getting the extra duration. So, usually how the stomp works is however many heroes you hit with your stomp, you get the BKB timing when it comes back. But now he's going to be hitting a lot of heroes, which means he can frontline, which means he can stick on top of the heroes and apply the natural order.
This is the Meepo counter.
This is a very interesting
On another level. On another level.
All right, let's... I mean, that
and look at the gold difference. There's only a 1k gold in it.
Let's just bring up the graph. Look at this. Look at this swing. It is a 20,000 gold swing as well as a 20,000 experience swing. Oh my god, OG, they now have a full heart on the Spectre, level 25 as well. It's back the other way.
It really is, and at the point where it felt like for Liquid, it was going to really start going their way. The final moment that they were actually able to take that mid-tier 3 in the racks, that's when the game turned around entirely on its head.
The Meepo had no buyback for all of it, right? Weehaw spent all his gold thinking...
Now it's OG.
And now it's OG. They're taking tier 3. Oh my god.
Seb's got a full E-Blade. OG, they've done it time and time again. In games and in whole tournaments when people have been quick to count them out. They strike back. They strike back hard. They're pushing onto the racks. Liquid will have their whole team back up. So we'll see how much OG can get. Anna still feeling confident on the front lines with that heart and Aegis. Thompson jumps in, finds Miracle outside the base. Stun up Miracle trying to hold on to the BKB charge. But slowing it down. They'll put the BKB. The impetus is over set and just forcing Liquid back. As Liquid, they're held back behind their racks. The creeps are gone. Backdoor protection will kick back in for Liquid, but now it ends once more. As the mid lane reaches the middle racks, the range racks are gone. OG, they're going to get the melee racks as well.
I've just been watching Weehaw with this real Meepo. He's just running around trying to cut waves, collect bounty runes.
But they're losing the base.
But they're losing the base.
They need Weehaw to bring his army in for the fight, but it's scary. The Elder Titan and the Axe. It's not easy for Weehaw to fight into his OG. They're not leaving, they're not going anywhere.
And look at where they're hiding the backline. Look at Jerax as well as No-Tail. They're hidden so far away from everybody else. They want nothing to do with this Meepo wraparound.
He's going to go in with the Rampage. They'll be able to get Seb first. Can they get more? Anna, still not the target they want to find. They want to try and find the easier kills, but No-Tail, he's able to walk this off with that Axe effect. Another hero that's now so hard for Liquid to ever get on top of. Anna.
He's committing for it. He has heart.
He knows that he's safe. He's just running down Kuro. His team cannot really keep the Spectre off the Chen. As Kuro has to opt for the TP out, will manage to make it on the high ground. Anna won't continue to chase him up to the right. Looks Weehaw gets the break hit. But OG, they're not starting to play around with Liquid. Mind Control blinks out. Miracle does pop the BKB. They're trying to run down Jax, but the net won't catch him.
They just can't. Like, Ana's literally running into 5 heroes by himself, and the rest of the team is all the way in the back lines. They just cannot deal with Spectre now.
I mean, Mind Control's still trying to chase, but they just cannot do it. In every fight, the mana gets so low. Ana.
He's healing up. He's getting ready to hunt. It looks like he's eating 2 mangoes.
Oh, they've got to be careful. Liquid, if they continue to try and chase this, you know that whole play's going to come in, and there it is. Straight away, they'll turn towards Weehigh. In from the side, tries to start the fight off, committing, but they'll turn. Damage being done from the side. There comes the side for Jax. Weehigh, let me get to the people. Weehigh will survive. Miracle, he's looking for that pesky poke there, along with the help of Mind Control, but another Glimmer Cake play. Gets Jax away. Notel goes for the stop, won't get it out. Miracle's got the physical damage output to take him down in time. And now Liquid, they find Jax as well. In the trees with the roots. Have they got the damage to kill him off? He'll slide to the side. He's trying to run away. Another that will catch him. They'll kill Jax. Trees are being thrown left, right, center. Johnson, can he bring down Wee with the radius of Ana burning him down? They can. They get Weehigh.
This Spectre is just an absolute monster. They can kill the other heroes. They can constantly do that on the side of Liquid, but Ana doesn't look like he's dying again in this game.
He
is
really
so
doesn't.
more out of position.
That Ana Spectre, we have. No, this is not the first time we've seen it at this TI, where he just comes into games and takes over entirely. You really have to appreciate that for a large portion of the mid game. What, OG, what about, how about 15k behind?
15,000.
Ana was the only one that was really having a look at that drop off.
Yep. And you said, we've seen Ana play this TI. We also saw him playing it last TI.
Yes.
He loves his Spectre.
Ana is back.
They're running full
He really is at full power here in the grand finals. This game one, OG swinging it round entirely. Liquid could not get enough done early on, as this is a second set of racks that OG is taking away.
Liquid has to be pretty thankful that they still have a tier 2 up top. So OG isn't going to be able to go for those megas. They're going to back up, but what a swing. Because Liquid, how do they take fights? They now have a pretty solid build here on Miracle. He's got the Bloodthorn plus the Nullifier, but he's all in.
It's got to be worrisome, right, for Weehigh. He goes fully in on this stat build, right? No sort of X, the double Scardy.
Yep.
And still, they are killing him in the fights. It's not enough HP.
Because the HP is not the thing, right? If they're the ET, sure, he died in the last one, but it does amplify so much. And they do have that straight up damage that can't come out. Now we're seeing Thompson. He's starting to rack up too. He's got his Daedalus finished. Daedalus tree volley. They have the ways, the means to be able to bring down that Meepo.
They really do.
And I guess the lanes are being pushed in. OG, they're setting up to go for that tier 2 top. They've got their pretty much everything available. They've got the heart now too.
And a lot of those stats sort of rendered ineffective, right? All this Agi that's giving him, what, 30 armor, it's taken away. There's no flat armor.
As long as the ET's next to him, yeah.
Sure.
As long as Notel can actually get
most of these fights,
which he is going to.
With that axe, he can afford to get in and stomp off, and they aren't killing Notel straight away in the fights anymore.
There's too many things they have to pay attention to. There's too many target priorities that Liquid want to go for. But that might just be the biggest one. Trying to get this Elder Titan.
I think the big one really for Liquid is getting that Nullifier. It is there. The Nullifier TA, there was already, what, two Ghost Scepters and an E-Blade on OG's lineup and a Decrepit buff. Now they can have a bit more luck on committing for the kills. They'll find Thompson.
He's already low.
They have the pick-off potential. Anytime that OG is separated, you cannot write off how quickly Liquid's lineup can delete heroes, with Miracle's build sort of coming to completion with the Bloodthorn Nullifier.
Well, Thompson was just cutting bottom weight of it, looks like there. While his team was pushing top, and he just gets caught up, but he has buyback. GH dies very quickly. Mind Control now.
Surrounding him. Mind Control back. These rainbows, they hurt. I mean, they do not have buyback. They do not have buyback. Neither Mind Control or GH, they cannot get back into the game.
That's going to be
great. They're going to know this. They're going to keep the pressure up on top. Heart, Butterfly, 5.7k gold in the bank. Why not? Ana's Spectre so far ahead right now as he leads his team towards the third and final set of racks. Miracle has to blink away. Now the buybacks are available for the two of them. They have the gold to get back in. Fortification will slow down OG's end for now.
But they're still going to stay. OG, this is the last set of racks. Ana still feeling that powerful. There's the buyback from the time. The Mel Dash.
They found one outside of the base though. Weehigh trying to step out. The combo is magical damage. Is it going to get him in World of Storm? Get him to more. Notel's able to catch him before he's able to poof back. Meepo dead. He's going to have to use the buyback. Out it comes. As Rodana will get the D ward and continue to push on, taking these racks. Mind control, trying to set forward, but Seb turns towards him. Seb pretty low on the mana, but he's got enough rainbows to bring mind control down to about 25% of his HP. And pop the BKB and miracles, look at the backsliders again. These ghost bombs are rolling him. The dispel will be there. Onto no temple. Mind controls him with a ravage. They're trying their best to kill it on top of Seb. Aggression's out. Can they even kill off the H-Lo? They're trying their best on the high ground adder. He has been nullified. There's damage out, but it's enough. Again, this single target from Liquid, if they get it going, they can still kill the cause of OG, even the big old Spectre. As Liquid will hold, it's 3 buybacks they have to use.
Seb instantly buying back. The Roche is up.
They want to contest
now.
it.
Going into it there, there's going to have to be a bunch of buybacks for OG. They have Refresher queued up on Ana. How much gold does he have for buyback? He doesn't have, he's almost has enough for buyback with the Refresher. But Liquid,
If he wants to sell one of his items.
they're going to go to get this one though.
OG, of course, were able to take that melee rack stop, so they are just holding on to a ranged racks Liquid, but they are doing exactly that. They are holding on in this game.
And Thompson, he was already positioned up toward top, looking to try to go for more split push. But Liquid, they have to just run it down the mid lane, trying to force these buybacks. Aegis Cheese.
Well, we see, so at the moment, the Aghanims and the Refresher Shard being held by mind control. Is yet to consume the Aghanim's blessing. Liquid trying to force out these buybacks, and he's got to buy back. The tier 4s are being focused. They're not interested in Megas Liquid. They're just interested in ending the game.
Still holding on to it.
The first tip falls down. Liquid are going to be able to get potentially another one out of this. Kuro falling low, turn with the penitent. He's still alive off the back of this. Finally, the final success. With a spectacular 10.
Five seconds. What'll it be?
I love the stats about the early game. Both of these teams are known to play extremely aggressive, and the usage of the smokes, that was a really good point from the Haas.
It was indeed. We had a roller coaster of first game. I want a roller coaster of series. Let's find out if that's going to happen in game 2.
It's time to ban.
The Dire get a ban.
Grand Finals Game 2, that's right. Liquid pull out a Game 1 victory just very narrowly against a roster that's so storied. OG, highlight, I didn't get to formally introduce you, but welcome to the panel. Thanks. Still here with Gunnar as well. And I just want to ask you a question about OG as a team. Like, it's unprecedented for the most part that a team with the exact same roster, after an entire year of balance patches, attends another Grand Finals at a level of the game like, you know, maybe Na'Vi was able to do a TI1, TI2. The game has gotten significantly more competitive. How do you think a team like OG has been able to manage such a feat like that?
I think it's somehow they just hit the... Okay, there are like basically 2 reasons, I think. One reason is like they split the team after TI8, right? Okay. Ana left. And like they were just tumbling around, like they were not looking good. Yeah. Like it was not pretty. And then like I think everyone knew that eventually he was gonna come back.
Right.
So like, yeah, they like connected like, I don't know, it was a few months ago, right? And like they had a bit of time. And they were still not doing that good, but you can see like they were a team again, like they were strong. And then, I don't know, they have like this attitude when it comes to TI. Like somehow they get in this mindset where like they can play carefree. Like they don't stress themselves out. They don't get exhausted. Like they can just keep going, and then like they feel confidence in each other and like whatever ideas they have.
So you're saying like the absence makes the heart grow fonder kind of thing. So
oh, for sure, for sure.
Ana leaves for a little bit, and you.
I mean, if they were losing the entire year with Ana, then it would be harder.
True.
Like, there's more like baggage. Because like last TI was the same, right? Like he comes in, and like it's not like they haven't played with him before. Like No-Tail won majors with that guy. And Seb, like he was coach, and he was the coach.
Yeah, he was the coach then.
So, like, and the other reason is just I don't know. It's like how they play and like the heroes they have. I'm not sure. It just fits TI perfectly.
It does, and we even felt that last TI, and it's not like they're even picking the same heroes as last TI or anything like that, because, well, for one thing, Grimstroke is getting selected. That dude wasn't even at last TI, so it's just, you know, it's that kind of magic that is so difficult to replicate, but Liquid proving that there are some vulnerabilities as they do take game one, and we are moving our way through the draft. Magnus, AA, and IO ban, so instead, OG choose to ban out the Alchemist, and Liquid will, I guess, swap bans. They'll ban the AA instead. Liquid picks up Tidehunter and Templar Assassin. OG has Grimstroke and Tiny.
Yeah, so Liquid had first pick this game, so they gave the threat of the first pick Alchemist.
Ah, okay.
So they banned the AA, the Alchemist gets banned in response, and then the one big change was the Chen ban.
Yes.
Because I think that really helped Liquid's early game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, speaking of the Shen, like, Kuro actually, like, that's a new thing for OG too. Like, I think Liquid is a scarier both first pick and second pick team than LGD, like in terms of the heroes they do. Like when they first pick Shen on Liquid, like, you know, like that hero is gonna impact. Like he has a lot of like branches. Like he's comfortable with that hero. He knows what he can do with it and what he wants to do with it. And for like their last pick, like that was a bit of LGD's weakness, I feel. Like their scariest last picks were like Ami heroes, like Spectre and Slark, which are strong, but it's not the same as getting hit by like a Broodmother, Meep, or Arc Warden. Like those heroes, sometimes you see them, you're like,
yeah, everyone always talks about the importance of like a 22nd pick game winner, and like LGD went for like a Darkseer 22nd pick in their elimination game. So ultimately, you need to have that X factor at the end of the draft. It can't just all be front loaded in the first two phases.
It helps because you spoke to me earlier, like similarities, and like it's Liquid do have like even when they won TI7, right? Like there are some similarities, except like they pick these annoying heroes very early for Matu and like deal with it, and then like we'll get something that's
or even
later.
like the GH Coddle back in the day.
Earthshaker as well.
Shaker as well.
And I feel like OG also they're kind of playing the same as TI8 with how they play the safe lane, like what here's No-Tail plays. Like either he tries to play something that completely gives Ana free farm. Like if you look at a lot of their especially group stage games, Ana is like far above everyone else in farm. Like he usually gets a very relevant hero to the game, and No-Tail just plays this. He plays Shen or Ench, and he's just securing farm for him.
Then as someone who is very famously the position 6, you're saying that No-Tail is kind of emulating that very sacrificial role where it's all about making sure that his one position is enabled?
Yeah, I think that's fair. And and then the other, like he had to play ET last game, right? And he can kind of do the same thing, but like his own game suffers way more when you play ET because you're just running in suiciding basically.
Yeah, like at last year I was like Nature's Prophet, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's different
here. Lane.
Yeah.
Liquid's still scared of the Invoker. Yeah, I think they banned it last game too.
They did, yeah.
OG run it in both positions. Thompson's one of like the most famous Invokers, I think, right now. And also Jerax is an Invoker player, so they have a little flex. I think it'd be a little surprising if OG would pick it as like a fuller, because I don't think it matches well with
the
other two heroes.
Liquid do that too much.
I mean, OG for like their...
Oh, yeah, okay. So I don't think I've seen OG do that too much either.
Yeah. But
mainly just newbie. Your boy MSS Pilot, I was rocking that 4 position Invoker like nobody's business.
And also Seeker, right?
Yeah, Seeker was doing it with the Upstar.
Yeah, it fell a bit out of... It's a little slow. Like, it doesn't put that much pressure.
It's just a group stage meme? Is that what you're talking about?
It might be. It might have been. It might have been. We'll see.
OG get their hands on the Ember TA matchup. That matchup's a lot more Ember favored now. It used to actually be TA favored in the lane. But now that you can't really deny, deal like 120 physical or pure damage because
the Ember refraction got nerfed.
You can't deny the creeps anymore, so the Ember can actually pressure you at level 3 and level 5.
I'm actually, this is kind of cool that the TA is coming in because I think it was the Epicenter major, right? The hero was basically first pick.
Yes.
Because she has like very few losing matchups, and even the losing matchups are like, you can get to level 3, 4,
you can just jungle.
Exactly, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what we saw in the LGD series.
Yeah, but I don't think she's supposed to be as good anymore. Like I'm feeling, I want to see this because let's say it's an Ember versus TA mid, right? Because what should be able to happen is like the Ember slightly wins the lane, and then he can just chase after her, like when she's trying to catch up.
So you want like a very high activity Ember. You don't want like a farming lawnmower build Ember that goes for like a radiant or anything like that. You want one that's constantly bothering TA, making sure she can't take ancients, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know Thompson was one of the first guys to start going like medallion on Ember. So he goes like medallion. I think he went medallion drums deso, something along those lines.
Okay.
And he plays like in the enemy jungle the whole game and just like chains them and just chases them around.
I mean, that's just his style. Like, that's what you could see last game. Like, what stopped him? Like, his tiny is. Got a little satisfaction from seeing them like just get shut down with what they're trying to pull. Like, because you can see like Seb hits level 6 in the offlane, and like normal enches, they stay there and they get the tower. You know, it can take up to 5 minutes
because no one can come to that lane once she has impetus.
But like, it's still, she doesn't kill the tower that fast, right? But what he does, he just starts running at the enemy. Like he'll stand between the tier 2 and the tier 1 mid, and like it's so. Like you can't, it's so hard to do something about it because all the heroes are so low level. It's like you can maybe kill him, but like if you try to kill him and you fail, you basically lose the game.
And even if you do kill him, it takes so many resources to just take him down.
No, it's extremely. And then then like he's running around there, and then like Thompson hits like he has his timing, like if he plays Invoker Tiny, then suddenly he's in there too. But that game, like last game, he's just running over traps, running into 4 centaurs, like. And he gets stopped.
I remember like last game when the guy was doing that move. Thompson's walking into the jungle chasing one of the supports, I forget which, Rubik?
Yeah, Rubik.
Yeah, he's chasing the Rubik for like a minute.
Yeah.
Because he got trapped. And you kill the Rubik, and the camera goes to the mid tower, and there's an Ench sitting behind the mid tower, killing a tower while a Tiny is doing his own thing on the map.
Yeah. No, it's... when they can run at you, like they're very frustrating to play against.
And Omni-Knight definitely a hero that can enable running at you. Still, so far the only strength core that Heavenly Grace is really going to be able to buff up is the Tiny, but obviously that's a great choice, especially once the Tiny gets the Aghanim Scepter. And Liquid going to pick up a Life Stealer.
Even the Ember though, you can stop him from getting like chain stunned by the Shadow Shaman, gives him more HP. That's like the one thing they don't think about that much when you get Grace someone. It's 28 strength. That's still HP on every hero.
Yeah.
I mean, he's generally a very good versus Tidehunter and Shaman. Like if you repel either this Ember or whatever they're picking next, like that guy can just be in there. Like he's getting stunned for like a second max.
It's also, the Ember could be an Ana Ember.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that, I think. We mostly assumed it was a Thompson Ember versus the TA.
Okay.
And now that there's a
Where would that put the Tiny though?
4?
Okay. So it would be Seb, Omni-Knight off lane, safe lane Ember, 4 position Tiny, and then 5 position Grimstroke.
I mean, if you want to go like really far out there,
let's hear it.
It could be a Tiny 3 with the Grim, so he can combo with the Inkswell.
Oh.
And then they put the Omni as a 5 with the carry against the Life Stealer.
10 seconds.
And the Grim would be a 4.
Oh, okay, I see.
If you want to go out there. I feel like that's
against the Life Stealer, that's a bit tricky though.
Yeah.
Inkswell combos won't be that reliable. And now Liquid being picked up. Enigma being picked up for Liquid.
I think they're going to want to better carry the Ember this game. I don't know if we can...
Yeah, I mean, the lane for Ember here is like fine, I think.
Yeah.
Like he can do fine either. I don't know what they have up their sleeves, you know, like to get something else from mid, but...
They played, what was it, Sven, I think, first? The Life Stealer in the LGD series.
Yes.
It was kind of bad because of the Huskar, I think.
Yeah.
But they like the matchup, so I think that could be it. It's lanes well against Enigma as well. You kill his Eidolons. Monkey.
Okay, so Thompson, Monkey King most likely?
Yeah.
Ana, Ember, Seb as the Omni-Knight, and 4 position Tiny.
I'd assume so, yeah.
And then 5 position Grimstroke. So before we go anywhere, why the Enigma though? Why did Liquid go for this Enigma pick?
I mean, I think they think kind of simple about it. They have this repel guy going in, right? And he can play like an absolute idiot. Like they just throw stuff at him and he lives. Now you have the Enigma just black holes him.
Status resistance won't help against the black hole.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can't deal with that. Plus, it's like these last pick Enigmas are you already picked your supports, right? So you don't have any cancels. So it's a free black hole game.
Fair enough. Let's hear from Casey, who's talking to Saksha, team of OG.
Thank you very much, Casey. Game 2 of Liquid versus OG here in the best of 5 grand finals of the International 2019, just about to kick off. What a start to the series. What are we expecting from this one, Fog? OG and Liquid coming into this game 2. OG, they've been knocked back before at the beginning of a series, and we've seen what sort of a turnaround they can make as the series does unfold. Of course, the famous one being that of this same place, same time last year. Can they do it in this best of 5? Are we going to see them with this draft take a game back off Liquid, or are Liquid going to keep the lead?
They've got a lot of comfortable things coming out for the side of OG, right? We have Ana on his legendary Ember Spirit. We have Thompson on his Master Tier Monkey King, of course.
Master Tier. In
a good matchup. Well, what the players used to say was a good matchup. I know a lot of them talked about that Monkey King versus TA back when you could get the refraction tonight with your denies. Now you have to imagine it's even better for the Monkey King. So Thompson should be able to have a good time there versus Weehaw in the mid lane. This last pick, Enigma, though, very interesting one. I loved what they mentioned on the panel there. I think Kai was the one who said it out. Heavenly Grace makes it really hard for you to set up for kills, but Black Hole cannot be produced because that status just does not work. And there's no cancels, of course, on the side of OG through that BKB that will be coming up for the Enigma eventually in this game, as Miracle leads quite a bit of harassment, you see there.
You've certainly got to watch out for what GH is going to be able to bring to the game. But overall, Liquid, once again, now having this TA, having sort of a obviously this time the Weehaw TA, we're going to see it in a bit of a different capacity, but they've got still this sort of similar idea, right? This whole fight that can go down with the control that Mind Control and GH can offer that will just give the time and space for Miracle and Weehaw to just disassemble their opponents.
Yeah, it's all about the team fights really coming into play when you start getting toward these later stage games of TI. And we see right away, so a lot of the times we've been seeing the Enigmas, they start in the Radiant jungle. This time he's Radiant, so it's a lot more natural for him. So we see Jerax, he puts a ward inside of the jungle to block one of those camps in that triangle area down in the Radiant jungle, but it actually was spotted. Liquid had already prepared down here with this ops ward to see everything that's going to be happening. They actually know that that camp is warded, so GH is probably going to stay playing up top for the time being and just keep denying creeps.
Talking about up top, they've got the shackle set up, Mind Control, chasing N0tail down, will be able to get back underneath the tower. In fact, Anna's going to turn, chase down Mind Control, and they'll get first blood, OG. As Liquid try and force the issue a little too hard between the two of them up top. Giving first blood to the safe lane, Ember Spirit.
And then it's out. That was the thing, right? Grimstroke turns, N0tail, he doesn't die, he salves up, he's back up to full. And this is the one thing about when you go for the Gush on the Tide is you're going to try to set up for those kills, but you're a lot more vulnerable. He has a stout shield, but Ember Spirit, he can hit pretty hard. Same thing with the Grimstroke. They can easily turn.
Down to the bottom lane, Miracle. He's going to be farming up against the Seb Omni-Knight with that backup of Jerax at his side. Obviously with GH being in the jungle up the top, it is going to be Miracle entirely on his own for the most part.
He'll get pressured a bit down here just from those toss-back plays. He should be able to catch up decently, but the thing is that Omni-Knight does pack a decent punch as well onto that left fielder himself. Jerax is just going to keep being annoying too. This is multiple mangoes. Another right click, another toss-back, quick heal probably. Actually held on to it this time. We'll see what itemization that SEPT does. I think an Orb of Venom proves to have an incredible amount of value, actually, in the bottom lane, because then you can leave the Omni-Knight a bit, and then he can actually right-click and trade with the Lifestealer. So I definitely want to see SEPT go for picking that one up. And I think he actually did just buy it, so he will be able to put the pressure onto Lexo, just give him that extra right-click, because your rage is not really an element that you have to worry about when you're going to be pressuring.
Sakuro down here now to just offer some sort of way of alleviating the pressure of these two heroes, keep the distraction high so that Jerax isn't able to stay in the lane, beating down and tossing back Miracle safe lane lifesteal.
Yep. We see mid starting to get to that advantage for the Monkey King, constantly getting those Jigu stacks up again onto Weehaw, and then you can just secure yourself all these denies.
There's a tough lane for Weehaw.
Yeah, but he'll back up in jungle, as Panel mentioned, as you've seen, especially in the earlier series of the day.
He's always going to be able to catch up.
Yeah. Still jungles incredibly efficiently.
Yeah, we've seen him do it many times, and his TA really that he's been able to bring out a lot of the times for Liquid, as it seems on the main stage, has always been pretty darn good.
Sep getting turned on there by Miracle, but we'll have to sustain. And now the Orb of Venom is delivered, and this is where he can start to actually push Miracle off the lane with Jerax.
Jerax again. Another combo.
Doesn't actually choose for the toss back there.
Miracle was, out of regen and open wounds have been used, but could have potentially have been a kill. Top lane, Anna. He's actually going to turn, sort of baiting Mind Control. Look how low he's standing. He's got a slider fist, keeping himself out of range of the anchor smash. Anna just darts himself perfectly around the tide. The flame guard will end, so it won't be quite enough to take Mind Control down immediately, but you've got to imagine there's going to be another slight fist available. Mind Control just salve up in the trees. Another stroke hits, but that salve will make sure that a slight fist from Anna won't quite kill him off. Still, though, he's out of regen now, Mind Control, so will be bullied out of the top lane.
Thompson's really starting to take advantage of this mid lane. He even uses the glyph under the tower, and Weeha's is forced to sit and melt, healing up with the salve. Thompson's really taking over. He loves this matchup. Another thing that this hero provides you is you can dive and chase the TA, but now GH shows up.
GH from the trees, Thompson. He didn't expect this. He's trying to use the mischief to play it out. He's looking for that full big cannot get the boundless strike off, though. Great move from GH. Catches Thompson off guard. He knows that Thompson, as you say, is going to play like this. He's looking for these dives, these plays around the tier 1 towers. GH is prepared.
Super clutch. Weeha's definitely better give him like a big hug or something after that play. As he'll be able to go back and continue to jungle as he gets an Arcane Rune on GH, and he's actually saving gold. You see he's queued up, he's got the gloves. He's got the Dominator in his quick buy, but I think he might be contemplating a minus.
He's thinking about it. I won't be surprised we're at 4.5 minutes in and being that close to it.
Yeah, especially after setting up for that kill. We will see Thompson go right back to the mid lane though, and we'll be able to continue pressuring Weeha quite easily as that Monkey came with the matchup.
I'll just certainly have to be aware of the potential of GH maybe coming across again. Obviously with that ward that OG do have down that they placed earlier in the jungle, they'll see any movements from that kind of angle. GH will start to have a bit of a poke on the Jerax. Crew trying to go for the shackles, but with the avalanche already out, Jerax will not be held down.
Looks like it won't be the Midas. He buys boots, buys clarities. He's just going to jungle. And looks like he wants to actually move around and make plays because he's got the points of the Malefice already. Maybe he wants to just be more active around the map and be able to respond to the aggression that he knows that OG's going to do, right? You know how OG's going to play. You know Thompson is going to do well in the laning phase, and then he's just going to run around and try to set up kills all over the place. So being able to respond quickly, that looks like it's going to be the approach for GH.
And he's got relatively good cores to do it around, right? Yes. Other cores that offer in Weeha's case a good bit of damage. So down bottom Miracle's case, that extra bit of slow and save. Mid lane, Thompson. We get the balance of Weeha trying to push out the wrap round. Jerax comes in with the gang, tosses back. Weeha, as he tries to go in for that kill attempt, will not get away save. Mid lane, Thompson. He's turned it around with the 3 at the mid. See it away for the 6-minute runes. OG, again, you see how much they prioritize those power runes early on. Jerax is going to be the one that's able to grab a haste rune. Level 3, so has got the levels to try and make a bit of a play onto Kuro. Diving him underneath the tower. Kuro will stand with the shackles. Another blast, but Jerax just has the combo damage, bring him down. Stick charges from Kuro, though, actually keep him alive. And now the haste rune is worn out. A miracle, he's in for the free kill.
He did not do the math. Kuroki did, though. Anna, though, top.
Both carries getting a bit of action. Top lane, Anna and Notel able to set up for another kill for that safe lane. Ember getting in behind the tier 1 towers. Well, there's 3 points of the sleight of fist. Now with the 6th, the remnants as well. He hurts. Yep. It's a dangerous lane for Mind Control to return to.
And they really love playing this Grimstroke combo with these melee heroes that can quickly get onto top of targets with that high-level ink swell. We'll probably still see an early level Phantom's Embrace. I think that's another reason why they picked it versus the Tide.
Heading in GH.
So annoying, but Anna should be okay. He's got the remnants like you were talking about.
GH not quite with the mana at all to offer a black hole follow-up. It's Jerax.
Keep tabs on Weeha, don't let him just freely jungle. As I feel like every time we've seen Weeha actually playing in this Templar Assassin, he gets away with murder in the jungle. He just sits there farming it over and over again and doesn't get pressured. OG is not going to give him that option. As the 3 cores of OG are farming very well. As to be expected, you're playing versus an Enigma draft. That's kind of, if you're not doing well in the early game, you're not doing well in the laning phase, you're in a big amount of trouble. So they are quite ahead there. And Mind Control is starting to get punished quite a lot up top, as we saw from Anna, as well as Grimstroke of Notail.
I love the scan from Liquid that does reveal that Notail's hunting behind the tier 1. Heading over towards the direction of GH. He's going to look to get another ancient stack going. Illusion quite managed to make it happen there.
Oh, Notail blocked it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
so they're sitting on just the edge of the square, Notail.
Yep. As top though, Anna, he's just looking to keep pressuring onto Mind Control here, but Mind Control will be able to step away.
Watch out. He does want to try and go for this with Mind Control being as low as he is. Cannot close the gap with the ink swell. Oh, that's a beautiful battle. GX just casually stands in position. He didn't even have to move for it. As they just both sat down. Adam's trying his best to get away with the Remnant now. He will be able to escape. As that nearly was a huge disaster for OG losing two. They're lucky that Anna was able to get out of there.
They're lucky that Jarex was close enough to get an avalanche there. Otherwise, he's very likely to die.
He would have been dead. He really would have, but as it is, Anna lives, only notes out.
And when he comes back, he can full heal Jarex as well. So they can look to make an aggressive play up here.
I mean, they're immediately back over. Now they know they can be extra aggressive, right? There's no black hole.
Yeah. Very important that Anna survives there. But a great, I mean, GH so far in this game. As an Enigma who's jungling, able to put so much pressure on the map.
His positioning he's always been where he would ideally be.
Yeah.
Where his team needs him to be standing, GH is there to ready to hold their hands.
He's got that Dominator build finished. So we will have that creep always running around, probably just stacking camps for the early game and then gonna start looking to set up kills, because it is a Centaur Conqueror, so it is one of the better ones to actually set up for those ganks. They really want to sandwich on Kuroki.
Straight in, Kuro is going to have the chance to turn upon the shackles. They're doing their best to keep Anna alive. X-Well pops up, and there's the stun. Connecting on a GH, they're ready to die for more. Thompson, straight down behind the tower, jumping forward, looking for GH. The stun for the Central Conqueror with the helmet of the Dominator is keeping GH. Finally forwarding as Thompson gets him. We has no time towards OG. They managed to take away two. They'll continue to chase. They will lose notes out, but Thompson's back over. Balance strike down. They'll surround the TA. We are surely will fall. No, they don't have detection. He's got the meld. He'll stay hidden. They'll go for Kuro instead. Miracle trying to chase for more. Another stunning feed from the Centaur Conqueror. The micro making it real, but Miracle still has to be careful. The Rage is finished and Anna's Flame Guard still persistent. They'll chase into the trees. Thompson's got the lockdown. Boundless strikes out. Miracle will fall. OG.
The three cores just running around as a unit right now for OG, looking to kill everybody. Look at the map right now.
I mean, they're thinking about going.
Look at the lanes. The lanes are all open. They're just battling.
He's able to chop the tree down. Mind Control. Quick with the lumberjack plays. Gonna see if he can try to Ravage does get the three of them. Seb's getting burst slower, heals out in time. Weir comes across. Hex lockdowns there for Kuro. They'll get Thompson. Liquid, can they punish OG even more for diving for this? The X-Well, Sleight of Fist again. Mind Control, he's stuck up. The Flame Guard, the Sleight of Fist damage is too much for them this early on. Kuro, he's off the wall. He's got the shackles. He's holding him down. Hex is out as well. Kuro finishes off battle all by his own. And we are get set as well. OG all five out of the game as Liquid say, get out of our half of the map.
10 minutes in, and we have 10 heroes duking it out.
That's how we love it.
Ancient area.
That's what we want to see.
There's farm in every lane. Bounty runes are spawning. I think every single game that we see, it's like, guys, bounty runes. Every team starts running over to bounty runes at those 5 minutes. Not this game. These teams are just bringing the battle to each other.
And I think that this is why these teams were so excited to face each other in the grand finals. You know that Kuro and Notel, they wouldn't have it any other way than to meet face to face in the best of 5 grand finals.
I feel like we hear the teams talk about this a lot when they get to the later stages. They're like, I want to play versus this team. And they're like, why do you want to play versus this team? And it's like, because they like to just fight, and we like to fight, and that's what makes Dota fun.
I mean, OG's already eyeing up the chance to get back over.
It's constant. GH.
They're diving. Change to there. 7 Notel with the back of GH. He is going to struggle to hold them off. We'll get a Midnight Pulse down, but the Purification Burst from Sebs is enough to bring him low enough. Notel getting the finishing blow. As OG, as soon as Liquid kill them all, get them back over to the base, they are straight back over, keeping the pressure on. We'll see here, fantastic turnaround from Liquid with that Ravage, and then of course that beautiful ending. Kuro able to get that kill on Anna, all on his own.
And all little things too, right? That root, even the Dark Troll Summoner that GH controls, and he gets the net onto the Omni Knight, he can't actually get into Heavenly Grace and protect targets. So
GH,
every little thing matters.
This helmet dominates. I don't think I've seen anyone use it as well as GH has been able to in these first 12 minutes.
Yeah.
The micro has been absolutely on point. And we're 9-9, less than a 1K difference. Just under 13 minutes in between OG and Liquid in this game too.
You can feel the way that OG's playing is that they want to punish the greed. Liquid went for greed. They've got Midas on the life stealer. They have an Enigma in their trap. OG wants to just keep this battle running at them, which is very OG-like. They just want to fight.
Just gonna have vision with the rest of this ward and Thompson. From the trees, Wukong's command down. Boundless strike already used. It doesn't matter. He's able to jump forward, look to chase Miracle. Miracle does get jukes off. Now's the movement speed with a phase boost. He'll get himself out across the trees. They'll still try and chase. Thompson apparently still unavailable for 6 seconds, so Miracle will actually be able to escape. GH, he comes forward. He starts to have a bit of a poke. Stands out for Anna. He's in with a wraparound. Changer out. Bartlett strike back up. Slam down onto the Enigma. GH is gone. They're diving up to one. Tier 3. OG. They're in the base. They get mind control as well. Every single tower up in the mid lane. But OG, they're taking the fight to the base.
Dude, look at this. Look at this. All the lanes are open. All they're trying to do is battle. Weeha's well gonna get caught out. This is ridiculous. And now they're gonna say, okay, now they're prioritizing. Like, all right, now we sandwich onto a tower. Now we can go for this one.
Well, hey, does anyone else want to take a tower? Yeah, go on then, Seb. Yeah, let's go on then. We'll take some of these objectives. We can hold back on the killing for a little bit. 13-9, OG able to break a little bit ahead there with that play.
I don't think I've ever seen something like this in a game, though. Where
and in a grand finals of TI.
Exactly, they're literally just ignoring lanes. They're open for heroes to farm, but who cares about farm? Look at this, the 3 cores of OG, they see Lightsteel on the map, all 3 of them immediately run to bottom. They're like, get him!
It shows.
He has to hide.
They want to collapse, Rage in the TP will do it. Nowhere to hold him down. Miracle's out of the neighborhood.
And they'll set up for this tower now.
That's how I guess there's no kills to be had around here. We've got to take the tower. So Anna will reluctantly take it.
But they're going to battle top. They see mind control for a second.
All right, here we go.
A kill has been spotted.
Let's have a look. Ravage is available as well as the Black Hole if GH gets over. Toss back underneath the tower. Mind control starts with the anchor smash. Thompson has already got the Jingu built up. Avalanche control and mind control causing issues. He needs the rest of his team to get it. They're not going to come. Mind control's going to be left for dead.
My God, just relentless. Just relentless running at them. They're really trying to punish the green. I think that's the biggest thing to point out here is that OG, they do not want to give any type of low period. When you look at Liquid's draft, it's a slow-paced draft that's based off of cooldowns. They don't want Weeha to be able to get away with murder like we were talking about earlier about going to the jungle and just farming. No mercy. As another tower, they'll find this one here because they're in this lane looking for kills. So another tier 1, but it gets denied.
Good play there from Nota. Gets the silence out before a Rage is available. Stopping Miracle from being able to commit through the stun.
Phantom's Embrace could catch a lot of things off guard here on the Liquid draft, as we mentioned, versus the Tidehunter especially too. That Kraken Shell can be very annoying to play against if you're versus Phantom's Embrace. Just constantly applying that silence on yourself.
I mean, that Dessa done on Weeha. Yeah. Then you know, it becomes a little scarier to keep this aggression up, but until that point, OG, they're going to move forward, but GX from the tree line, that goes down as well as the Surfboard. Surf will be able to offer up the GA, but mind controls Ravage, caps the 2 of them. They've got the lockdown, Shackles around, Thompson surrounded, he'll turn with the Valley shot, but they will kill him off. Anna's going to jump in. They want to try and make sure they can find the trades. Who can they get? Inkswell starts connects on the mind control. They're on top of them, burning them down with the flame guard, but Liquid, they're holding themselves close to the wards, saying, you can come, OG, but OG, they won't fall for that trap. They won't force the fight any further. They've lost Thompson.
That was 3 ultis for Thompson, though. That's Black Hole.
I mean, it is Thompson.
Serpent Wards.
He's quite a high-value play.
That's very true. But the location where they get it right, you can tell that OG, they're the ones dictating the pace, forcing reaction after reaction after reaction by Liquid. Forcing them to use literally triple ultimates to kill their mid laner because they have that Omni-Knight behind him.
Now we're doing Deso for Weeha, 100 gold away.
He's getting the space. His team is trying to fight back, giving Weeha some time to get that item that he really needs in this game.
For Miracle, needs that armlet done after the Midas. Then you have 2 cores that you really have to be careful about diving upon as OG.
Mind control, he's been spotted. They want him.
Found him alone. As again, Thompson and Jerax able to find these quick and easy pickoffs. Kuro's going for the TP out. Anna has not got any disable backup to hold him out. So Kuro will escape. Thompson, as soon as he's taken out of the game on the top lane, he is straight back in and he's killing people already.
Yep. It's non-stop. They even smoke. Look at this. He kills bottom. The line is drawn.
They just want to go, go, go. This is a beautiful pace that OG's bringing out here in game 2. They have a 3K lead. They'll know that they're around.
Take out the Obs Ward as well. Thompson will kill it.
But there aren't those big ults, as you mentioned, straight in towards the tier 2 tower. Anna has no fear as he collapses immediately on top of the TA. Weeha surrounded. The control that No Tail offers is too much, but Weeha to withstand at the moment. Jump forward, over towards Kuro. Anna just loving the pace that he can play with Thompson by his side, running down hero after hero as OG just keep the kills a coming.
They're just moving too fast. The pace that they're setting is just too quick for Liquid to respond right now. Mind Control just being... Look at Mind Control's net worth. I don't think I've seen that almost ever. He is bottom 3 net worth.
Bottom 3, bottom of the sea.
166.
He's got to try and get himself up to some shallower waters. As he's got a big recovery to do. Sure, we've seen he can still make very impactful plays with the Ravage alone at the moment.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's too fast of a pace though still. OG, if they have anyone, like if they have their cores together, which they've pretty much been doing all the time, it's so hard to bring them down. We see how hard Heavenly Grace counters all of these disables that do come out.
On the hunt, a Miracle will be able to get away with this play every time. Rage CP, nothing to stop it.
Liquid's trying to find any type of place to farm in very unexpected places. Look at where Mind Control is right now, and look at where GH is.
Oh.
This is them just being like, OG seems to just know where we are on our side. Let's take the farm from their side.
That's the thing, right? They know that OG is it's just looking for fights. Look at it. They're fighting up towards tier 3s. This is literally where OG doesn't want to be. They don't want to be on their half of the map. That's defensive, slow, and boring. So that does give this space. And Liquid's starting to make a bit of use of it. OG into the pit is spotted out by the Weehar trap. Can they do anything with it? They've got Black Hole and they've got the Ravage.
Yep, they've got their ultis available. OG, they have their Guardian Angel as well, but Seb is relatively low on mana. They stop the Rosh and they're like, oh, heroes have been spotted. Go for the fight. Miracle is in the mid lane.
They're going to go for jump on Miracle. Instant Rage and a back off. Still, they managed to sandwich them. If Liquid can get the Tide and the Enigma in, they could go for a good fight from the low ground. Kuro,
Miracle.
Sable, he traps up No-Tail in the Sable Wars. Miracle's the focus. Miracle will fall. They're walking over Mind Control. He tries to get around, but he can't. Boundless strikes out. No, Phantom's embrace again. No-Tail stopping around Mind Control to be able to offer the Ravage for now. And Anna and Thompson, they're still good to go. Dust is out. They've got the detection prepared. Weehar's left behind. They take a both quad. They're going to get the third as well by the looks of it. Zoki, they jump over, catch out Mind Control, and they'll also toss back in GH as OG. They just keeps killing every single member of Liquid over and over again. They're playing the fights perfectly.
The execution of these fights is absurd right
It doesn't get any better than this from OG.
It's 31 kills at the 21-minute mark. They're just, sorry, at the 20-minute mark, they're running around at Bounty Rune spawn. They just kind of fake that Rosh a little bit. They know. They're like, oh, there's a TA trap in here. They have to know that they're versing a TA, and they have to know there's traps in there. And then they just bring the fight. As soon as Liquid shows a member, they don't care. They get the Boundless Strike when it looks like Mind Control's trying to get a perfect Ravage, and then he gets silenced, and from there, it's so hard.
He knows exactly. A bug on Mind Control, bam.
Yep.
They cannot do anything. You saw GH moving as well. And Mind Control gets that Ravage off, GH is able to get in with the Black Hole. Maybe they limit the casualties. Maybe they're able to at least bring someone down with them from OG, but it's not the case. OG using every spell in the right order and on the right target.
Yep, and they're itemizing really well now too. We see Seb, he went for the Medallion early on into a Vlad's. And what are we looking at on the side of Liquid? It's pretty much, I mean, they have magical damage too, but the Templar Assassin is really the one that's going to be dealing all that damage on their lineup. And he's going to have a much harder time versus a Solar and Vlad's on being thrown on the target that he's focusing.
And again, sort of the chaos of these fights, you know, sure, it's sort of been a group effort, but look how well they're able to prioritize their main man, Anna. He's only died the once in all of these engagements. He's 7, 1, and 11. So despite the fact that sometimes you'll see Thompson fall, they're throwing bodies in, they're getting so much done that Anna is able to benefit off.
And it's not like Thompson's not farmed. He's actually ahead of Anna in the farm here. He has a Radiance with the Echo Saber already finished.
Excuse me?
Versus a TA. This is a Radiance versus TA so early on. This evasion,
21 minutes in
of the Radiance onto that refraction as well, it's going to prove to be super problematic. And even versus Blink Daggers, that's the other thing that we know that Thompson, why he really likes Radiance, is when you throw down your Wukong's command, all of your individual monkeys get the Radiance AoE, so getting Blink Daggers and blinking and ravaging and causing chaos is near impossible.
You cannot escape it. You need the BKB and Blinks if you want to try and make a jump, and even then, you're still going to be slowed down in the way that you had to commit with them. As Roshan, OG's in the pit, no chance of Liquid heading over. As Anna will claim the Aegis. And with 3k gold towards his next item.
Mind Control hype. They saw him for a second.
He's got the TP. They've obviously got ways to cancel it, OG. I don't think.
Oh, he's brazen already.
Mind Control's getting out of this one. He shows himself, they get a glimpse of him. And it's just more and more gold and glory for OG. 22 and 10, 22 minutes in. This is the OG you expect to see after they go down a game in game one. They are relentless with the pressure that they're applying.
No mercy. You pick a greedy trap first them, you know that this is the way that they're going to play. Just running around looking for non-stop plays, especially when they have Thompson on Monkey King and Ana and Ember. These are just incredibly fast-paced drones.
Good found again. They get the combo in. He's not able to get the rage off. The Phantom Embrace from Notel, along with that combo, leaves no chance for Miracle to get out of there. And now they can start looking for some towers. It's got to that point again when OG said, all right, we've done enough killing. Let's get some more objectives. Tier 2 tower in the middle lane will be taken. Weehar's doing his best. They keep that top lane pushed out. Has the blink of the Deso, so can try for these plays. Bottom lane, GH and mind control. They're eyeing up Thompson.
But he's got Seb, and then, oh look, Heavenly Grace, 2,500 health Monkey King walking around. No fear in the world at all as Weehar.
I mean,
Guards already there.
He's in position. That's going to allow Thompson to close the gap. And we are.
There's Radiance.
They do not have detection, but he is slowly burning.
They've got another toss as well.
Oh. Is it? Burnt to pieces.
This is
burnt to smithereens.
Is out of control by OG right now.
That's a painful way to go. As OG, you can feel the magic that they're bringing right now. This is what has brought them to this point of the tournament. This is why they are your defending champions. If they turn it up, if they hit this right sort of pattern of plays.
And look at this mind control. He wants something.
Just
anything.
Stop. OG are making this game too hurt. But Liquid, this is painful right now.
This is just the beautiful. Look at the damage coming out from the cores.
To have that much damage, just to hear it at 24 minutes in, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Just keeping all the aggressive moves, like you said. Liquid, they were trying to even move the Enigma, move the Tidehunter out onto the OG side of the map, but OG's like, no, we're gonna keep all the aggression onto Liquid side. Don't let them get any breathing room in this game. Put down deep aggressive wards, and just keep running at him. Don't let Miracle get this Radiance online. He's almost got it though. That's the one thing. Miracle has his phase, has the Midas, has the Armlet, and will soon have that Rad. But the rest of his teammates are so far behind. And a TA, when you're playing from behind like this, is incredibly difficult when you're versus these natural targets.
Oh yeah, I mean, he cannot show his face in the fights, Weehar.
And remember, when they open with TA, you're setting yourself up to this. OG, they like triple down to make sure they have things to do with him. Omni-Knight is an incredibly good hero versus TA at all stages of the game. It's Jarex, he's already prepared bottom, waiting for the next kill to set up.
I see,
they already got TPs coming.
In come the TPs. Jarex, he's in with the setup. He'll still get the blink off. Did have enough charges left on Refraction to get it out, and he's going for the TP away. They will not catch him. So this time Weehar will get himself away from this terrifying squad from OG that is just moving from lane to lane. You cannot show your face without the expectation of 3 heroes immediately collapsing on you. Ana. Vision here. And they'll get in with the setup. Kuro tries his luck, tries to get out. Do a warning for the team. Jarex has also found mind control. Ana's still diving in towards the base as Weehar.
He got Thompson's tree.
Weehar tries to turn with the meld hit. Thompson's there with the boundless strike. Weehar is just dying inside the base.
This mobility it's just absurd. Emberspurt, Monkey King, they're everywhere. You cannot set up anywhere on the map. They just get across the map too quickly.
I feel like we're just saying that you cannot let OG have these two cores together. They just play off each other so perfectly. The timings that these heroes hit, they're just on top of you at the same point of the game, and it just doesn't slow down.
Yeah. Bit of a timing window here for Liquid. Oh my god, Miracle. Dropping solo. They've got Blink Dagger on the Tidehunter now. But Jarex actually, I believe, countered. Hey, I think he counted his TP. Up top, mind control can't get back to base.
He cannot.
Chased around. And now Thompson's cutting off the escape route as well already.
There's no tide for the defense. As he can run, he could deal with the creep wave, but he's not going to be able to head back and help out if a fight does kick off in the middle. As they'll find him, they'll chase him. Monster kill for Thompson.
My god.
It's incredible to see how hard OG is punching back after that game 1 loss.
They're really just giving no room to Liquid at all. No room in the map. Constant mobility, constant running around, constant fighting. And Miracle, like we said, he's kind of farmed. They have the BKB on the Enigma as well with that blink on the Tidehunter. But OG, they have a 15,000 gold lead, a 20,000 experience lead, and they have given, what? I think they've only given OG 1 or 2 towers in the last 10 minutes and no kills.
There's a full Skadi on Thompson. 20 minutes in. This game, I think it is entirely on GH and Mind Control to make some incredible 5-man play. That's the only way right now.
That is really how it feels. And they have the BKB Black Hole, which is not counterable from OG, at least with the stun. But OG's tanky.
Yeah.
And getting into them as well, right? If they have the Wukongs down, lay down, he's gonna die if he gets that Black Hole off.
He will.
And now also, they've got a better way to heal each other and help each other. There's an Aghanims on 7. So that Guardian Angel is going to provide that massive amount of HP regen as well as that protection from wherever he's going to be to pop it off. I don't think they're going to have the damage to deal with OG at all.
Miracle trying to push into Thompson, but with the items that Thompson has and the most that he does, Soul Binds out. They're going to try and jump forward. The Wukong's command is now Mind Control. Pop the Ravage. The GA's already out. They've got the Black Hole. GH falls though. He's stuck inside the Wukong. 3 dead on Liquid. OG just beating them down one by one. The buybacks will come out from both Kuro and Miracle, but both GH and Mind Control are gone without their ultimate and without buyback. The game continues to worsen for Liquid as OG past the racks on top of Miracle, tossing him back into the Boundless. Triple kill for Thompson.
Wow.
As OG, this entire game has been a highlight reel for them. He gets something. It's a lot of money, of course, Anna. So that's a little bit of glory for Liquid.
Oh, Jarex, he will go down, maybe. No, the heal, they give the red fist.
Extra bit of salt in the wounds there. As they're holding on.
They're going to give them respect, though. They're going to back up.
Well, I feel like OG doesn't mind. They're enjoying this. They're loving this. They don't want this to end. They want to keep playing. They've got such a lead on all 3 cores that right now in the booth, OG are really enjoying themselves right now.
Oh, especially Thompson. 16, 3, and 14. Part of 30 of the 35 kills on this Monkey King. That is insane in this type of game on the finals of TI.
Blade on Jerax. Everybody's getting their items on OG.
Yep. Some luxury ones, of course, but just not letting Liquid get anything. They have a Templar Assassin who is at 11,000 net worth at 30 minutes. You don't hear that very often. Usually when you hear a TA at 30 minutes, he's going to be peaking at the 18, 15,000, 17,000 gold marks, maybe even higher than that. OG just not allowing Liquid to play with this draft at all. They're sandwiching and closing the map off even more, picking up those more luxury items and Aghanims now, of course, for Ana too, so he can just be even more mobile. And there's no Black Hole for 60. Ravage is up at 30. OG just walked up to this high ground. And another Aghanims, of course, too, for Thompson. Liquid can't fight it. They are just far too strong on OG right now.
Their only hope is with the Black Hole and the Ravage, and we saw even last time, it was exactly as you said it would. If Wukong's command is down, BKB Black Hole is not going to last long enough, and even if it did, they just do not have the damage right now to kill these heroes.
They're too tanky, and like I said, to Seb, right? Seb in the back line just going to heal everybody with that Guardian Angel.
Already trying to pull the wave away from Weird, but they're chasing.
So we are.
And then on top, Jerax is over. There's the E-Blade combo coming out. A GA to celebrate as the fight continues down bottom, making sure that NoTel doesn't go down. The 2 of them soul-bound together. Anna's in with the chains. Bradley strikes down on a Miracle. Miracle cannot get out of this one alive. He's dead without buyback. Mind Control as well. The chase never ends from OG.
You have to imagine they tap out of this one pretty soon as OG, 31,000 gold lead. So many different items picked up. They're cleaning up the last racks. But Dagon even picked up NoTel.
He's blocked the BKB. He's going to go for the Black Hole on the 2 of them. This is the pulse down. In fact, gets Anna as well for the round. But they just don't take any damage at all. GG is called. The suffering will finally come to an end for Liquid in this game too, as OG take the victory 1-1 now in this best of 5 grand finals. And Liquid, well, they've got to be feeling pretty shaken up after that game. OG coming into this game too, showing why they are the defending champions from last year. This is one of the most dominant games we've had in a grand finals.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant's turn to ban.
The Dire get a ban.
Here's the Radiant ban.
The Dire get a ban.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Ten seconds.
5 seconds remaining.
Dire's turn. 10
5 seconds remaining.
Enchantress.
10
5 seconds remaining.
OG lost that hero. I think that's what that rooted.
But they banned the Max.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that.
I forgive you, Shep.
I'm kidding. What I'm thinking like maybe they tried to ban for the Tidehunter maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, 'cause I'm a little. I'm feeling the Liquid draft is a little. It's a bit awkward. It's this thing when you pick this Tide, right? Like it's a very high tier pick because I mean Ravage is always gonna just stun everyone. But in general, that hero struggles versus Ench, and usually doesn't get a very good lane. So like Tiny will deal a lot of damage to him.
He struggles because what, the pure damage from impetus is too much, or?
Oh yeah, you just get chunked. Like you can't lane burst him. Like that's already a problem. Like you can't put the Tide versus Ench, so that feels bad.
Yeah, so like 50% of the reason why Tide gets picked is because of the Ravage, and the other 50 for the tankiness. But Enchantress just removes the tanky part of the Tides.
Right.
And generally, whatever lane Tide goes into, like he starts with like 48 base damage or something. So it's just hard. It's just hard to do anything.
Yeah, and especially after the last game too, I was thinking if Liquid is going to repick these long ultimate cooldowns, because OG seems to be playing so fast. I guess like they like talked themselves over and kind of regrouped.
So you're saying that's a reason why the Enigma in the last game may not have been too great, because that black hole cooldown was a bit of a limiting factor for Liquid to be able to match that breakneck pace that OG were setting.
I don't know, normally like it would have been fine because OG had no tower hitter. They only had like heroes that could kill people, like Monkey King, Omni, Ember. They don't hit towers at all. So even if they group up, if Liquid doesn't react like 5 heroes, they're gonna lose out eventually, right?
Okay, I see.
Yeah, I
think that game also just comes down to a lot like when you lose 3 lanes, it's just very hard to play.
Imagine that.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, because they had counter like matchups. They see Omni Knight, but they pick a Lifestealer, and like a hero
saw a TA, they pick an Ember, even though it didn't end up laning that way, but still, they thought that they had these counters in mind.
Yeah, and you end up losing 3 lanes, you have an Enigma Tide, and you like, your first couple of ultimates don't like kill them all, you're just, it's just trouble for you, man. It's just gonna be hard. So I hope Liquid now, like they really try to counter lanes. Like the difference here with the OG Ench this game and like the first game is, like what Liquid used to counter Ench, it's all banned out. Like the Shen is gone, the Mipo is gone. So, I mean, I'm hoping they have a
backup.
They have something.
For sure.
I'm sure they do too, because
I mean, I'm not sure. Like this Tidehunter is very awkward, and we'll see.
Yeah.
So then, why is Magnus continuing to be first phase banned then? Because like they haven't even. We saw Enchantress be exposed in game 1. You saw that you could beat it. You would know that OG would be like, all right, I'm going to ban out the Mipo and the Shen because that's what beat my Enchantress. Liquid are still not willing to give up that Magnus. Why is that?
I'm not. I guess like they have more strats in mind for this Ench.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing. Because I have like my personal feeling is that they should be able to play against the Magnus.
Right.
OG Magnus is especially annoying too because Zed plays it, not the position 4. Usually when there's a Magnus, you can like fast tempo and like have such a huge advantage from the early mid game. But since offlaner plays it from OG, like it's pretty hard to do that.
So Liquid gonna pick up an Ogre Magi. Technically, another possible way to deal with Enchantress. You can give your team attack speed with the Bloodlust, and you have plenty of magic damage to try to burn through her HP pool, and since you don't have to deal with the Untouchable. And OG gonna pick up a Faceless Void.
And a Grimstroke, that's amazing against Tide. Like these,
no, this is very hard Tide game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very hard Tide game.
Now, Ogre is one of the few heroes that can actually like solo versus Ench for a long time. Like especially if you're really on point with last hits, like you can potentially win that lane. And even if you played as a 5, like you're not really taking damage that much from her hitting you. So like you can sustain a long while. But eventually, like you're gonna get kicked out. So like I'm just waiting for this magic pick here that they're preparing for.
So you're definitely leaning heavily OG so far.
I want to see this because this is supposed to be Liquid's strongest pick right now. But yeah, I'm feeling like this tide is very awkward. Like OG, they're very ready for this tide. Yeah.
No real surprise here. Liquid go back to the Templar Assassin, and to be fair, the loss in the previous game was her first loss on the main stage.
Yeah.
So it's not like the hero is bad by any means, but Liquid are definitely kind of running the same playbook over and over again for Weehaw, which, you know, people had a lot of critiques for Epicenter. They just kept giving Weehaw win range, and you're like, what are you going to do about it? But they kept winning.
I mean, they didn't win the finals, though, did they?
That's true, true.
No,
this is the finals of TI also.
Yeah, because I wanted to say, like, I hope Liquid, like, really relax with this Templar Assassin. Like, either pick it super late or don't pick it at all. Because a lot of... I'm guessing they're going to ban Monkey King now, so, like, they don't have to deal with that. But yeah, because that hero, it's not the same hero. Like before, she used to win the lanes, and then like farming, like you're more okay with farming. If you lose the lane and then you go to farm jungle, like versus a team like OG, that can be rough.
And it's not like Liquid have any particularly strong roamers to help her accelerate that lane that quickly. Ogre Magi most likely going to be played in a core role, and Rubik, you know, telekinesis cooldown is way too much to expect to get any ganks on the mid lane.
It should be a Tide 3 and
yeah, probably Ogre 5.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, because I'm thinking OG will switch this Tiny to a 4 now. I don't think that's one of Tiny's probably worst matchups in TA. Like in how Thompson wants to play, because he wants to run in the he just wants to run on the other side, and he's just running in traps.
What's a good Thompson hero other than Monkey King? Because for sure it has to be bad.
Yeah.
Maybe Pogna.
Yeah. No, I'm curious to see it. I mean, he might just play the Tiny again. They did win that game before. No, I mean, actually they lost the game. They could have won that game, the first game, where it was Tiny versus Temple.
I think like this Tiny void combo, Tiny has to be played on like carry or mid.
Yeah, it does help a lot.
Yeah. Because like the Aghanim data list is so great game breaking. It can't be played on offlane.
Even Liquid are baffled, burning a lot of their reserve time for this final ban. They really want to protect this Templar Assassin.
I really want to see what Liquid are thinking too.
I think they're talking about like if the monkey is worth banning or not.
Yeah.
Because Tiny offlane or Enchantress offlane. I think they're saying they can deal with it.
Okay. They finally had the Monkey King. A lot of deliberation for that one. Now they got 30 seconds to pick a Juggernaut.
It's alright. Like he'll be bloodlusted, he'll get a lot of last hits. Eventually though, you will get kicked out by this Anshagadun. Yeah, I mean, it's not the dream pick, but it's playable.
And I guess against this Faceless Void, you may not have to be too concerned about your healing ward getting killed.
Yeah. No, it's a decent healing ward. I mean, Ansh can be annoying. She buys a lot of like...
ranged items.
Yeah, Liquid can definitely stop.
Okay, there we go. You call it, right?
Yeah, I call it.
You call it. You call it.
It's really great with Grimstroke. The other team cannot hit the Phantom's, what is it? Phantom's Embrace?
Yeah, if you decrepify the unit, then you just literally can't hit it off. And another reason why Grimstroke was likely picked is because it's a silence that can't get purged off by Kraken Shell.
Yeah.
You put that on the Tidehunter.
No, this is the nightmare Tidehunter game. Like, if he just gets to Arcane Boots Blink or like Face Boots Blink,
you'll be impressed.
No, but that's all he has to do. Like, don't expect anything more from this Tidehunter.
I mean, yeah, he might not feed as much as last game, but his impact is probably going to be minimal.
All right then, gentlemen, I appreciate the thoughts, but I want to hear one last thought, and it's going to come from Purge with the last word.
Winning Grand Finals is a really tough task at TI, and it's also because you have to change your strategy partway through the Grand Finals as the heroes you get comfortable with get banned out. Liquid has been really doing a great job with TA. It's a hero that they haven't picked a huge amount in the past, at least recently, but during the last stages of this tournament, it's been really effective. But in last game, OG showed that they had a great counter with Ember Spirit, having Tiny on support, and other things like that made things really effective. And now OG gets to go back to their regular comfort heroes. They've got Enchantress, they've got the Tiny Void Void combo, having Grimstroke as the support for Pugna, or for No-Tail, hasn't really been contested, but still accomplishes what they need. And on the other side, Liquid grabbing Jug, that should give them a strong laning stage and the ability to kill Enchantress because they can do lots of magic damage. On top of that, they still get Rubik, they still get Tide, and they have the TA, so they can fall back on it. But we'll see if they can still win with the TA either way, despite the enemy picks. With that said, let's throw it over to the casters for game number 3.
Thanks, Purge. Game 3 ready to go between OG and Liquid. Series stands 1-1 at the moment. We're seeing some similarities in the drafts as well as, of course, some little changes and alterations. But still, the biggest thing that I want to talk about, Bob, is Liquid. They're believing in some of the heroes that really did struggle last game. They're sticking with like these Tide Hunters, these TAs. Do you like that, or does that sort of maybe scare you a bit in the sense that Liquid running out of options?
I would be a little scared, right? Like, you have to look at this, and they've literally picked Tempo Assassin in all the games. And OG, they have to know this is coming. They have heroes that they've been preparing for it, preparing versus as well. And we saw it, how hard they were able to play last game and how fast that pace they were trying to set. That's the one thing that I saw Liquid, they do back away from this game though, right? They didn't go for all greed. They have a Juggernaut who can fight early. They have the Ogre Magi who's a stronger 5 position. And then they have this Rubik that can also make plays around the map. GH, he tried his heart out in the last game as an Enigma, but it is an Enigma. So you're gonna be slower paced because you have to play around your cooldowns. So at least they've addressed that a little bit here on the side of Liquid, but still do have to be a bit concerned for sure, Seb.
Go for a bit of a poke on him, but OG, they have the numbers. They're just going to turn around, look to body block up Miracle. Miracle holding on to the Blade Fury for now pops the pip just before the toss comes into play. We'll get him back underneath the tower, but overall, definitely some things for Liquid to be scared about in the draft. You saw as well, they had to kind of pick their poison right. They had the TA, it was, well, are we gonna lane against a Monkey King from Topson or a Pugna? They opt for the Monkey King ban, but does mean that the Topson Pugna will be there to cause some havoc with the TA in the mid lane. That decrepify in the laning stage each wave is not going to be fun for WeHard to deal with.
No, it allows you to secure pretty much almost not all the range creep denies, but you get a lot of those range creep. Ana will be able to get himself that ruin.
I'm going to try and abuse the fact that he hasn't got that time warp for quite a long time. In 15 seconds,
he'll be fine.
He's able to get
pressure.
back.
Yeah, takes a lot of damage, but No-Tail, same build as last game. He has the Clarities as well as, or the Tangos as well as the Salve. He will sub that up, and there's 2 bounties left.
There is, Liquid will be able to claim theirs up top, but you will imagine that that bottom one will eventually be picked up by OG, so overall getting the 3 of the 4 to start this game off with.
See how these mid creeps, Topson will be able to get the 1-for-1, so he gets that range creep deny as well, securing his range creep. And as well gonna get maybe another 2 denies as well. Oh my god, 3 denies on the first wave there, and he's braced of course.
Definitely going to be a lane where we are going to have to keep our eyes on, as we could seriously see Topson break ahead significantly of the CS of WeHard's TA.
And a very interesting starting item. I don't think I've ever seen that. It's a crown.
I like it.
The mid lane, right?
Was sort of built towards eventually getting what, a Rod of Atos, do you think?
Veil?
No, Veil, right.
I think Veil is really nice because it gives you that armor that you're lacking as a Pugna when you're playing versus TA.
Yeah, very nice. What were your teammates?
Yep.
The Tiny, the Grimstrokes, a lot of magical to offer when you start making those moves that we know that OG is going to want to do after seeing how they played in game 2.
I mean, it works well with everybody except for the Enchantress, right? Even Void, your time lock is magical. Sure, that's a very slight, but every little type of application.
He's going to have levels in it, so it's going to hurt.
Yeah. Topson just waiting to try to get all these range. 5 and 6 for the 2-1 of WeHard right now.
I mean, as we're bottom lane.
Kuroko is tanking the game.
He should be fine. Just doing his job here, trying to make sure that the pressure isn't applied to Miracle.
Yep. I'm mostly going to be looking at mid, just because I'll be keeping tabs of those range creep denies for us. As the side lanes, we'll be able to get a decent amount of farm on both of those carries on Liquid and OG. But this is the more important thing, is that my control is not getting super shut down in this one up top. Unlike the last game where it was just chain deaths for him. From the start of the lane, from pretty much level 1, he died back to back to back.
And we'll see WeHard be able to get the 2-minute route. Not really one that's going to help him in the lane though, just an invis. Yep. Not the DD or the illusion that could have maybe helped him get a bit of a catch up in this matchup. That's Topson just continuing to keep the edge, as this hero matchup is very, very painful to play in the lane for the TA.
Yeah, WeHard just has to be careful how he even controls his side blades. He just keeps getting all these denies built up onto him there. He'll secure himself one of those range creeps now, but yeah, 8 denies on the Pugna. But bottom, we see Seb. He's not able to get the most down here, but he's still putting pressure on. He's got 7 last hits, but look how low he's got Miracle. Actually forcing the salve, and Kuroki has no regen left either. So no regen on either of them. We see also he's gone for the point in the enchant this game. In the laning phase, because you're playing versus Bloodlust, you can be able to dispel that one quite easily, and if he gets an option of a decent creep, of course.
I mean, in this lane, is there a chance that Seb can get caught out by a Blade Fury play, or most of the time will Seb just have the heals to stay alive?
He should have more than enough health and more than enough healing. Like the Blade Fury, it's a decent amount of damage if you give enough stuns, but it's just 1 stun from the Fire Blast, which means he's going to be able to get his heal and a Fairy Fire off. So once that heal kicks in, the spin's not enough damage.
Same top lane, and able to match the free farm of Miracle down bottom. Both carries getting a good start in their safe lanes.
A couple more denies on Ana. He's already actually used an early courier too. I think Topson made the call. He's like, I don't really need the courier too early on, and you guys could have bring you some regen top, and they did. They brought Tangos and Clarities, and we will see. Helm Vine will picked up. He's going straight for that Veil on the Pugna. I mean, it's going to be crazy early how he gets it, because he started with his crown. Very cool approach here coming out from Topson. And look how tanky he is too. 9 armor, he's next to his tower, he's sitting at 12. So that harassment from Weehaw will not be as significant.
Thing we are trying is sort of the best approach he can against the Pugna. Every time the Decrepify is being used to try and closes the gap, get some Topson, forcing Topson to sort of stray a little bit back from the creeps. Pressure down on top. Looking for GH. Look at those bashes. Stroke won't hit, so GH will be fine to walk off. Mind control. Turning and beating down onto N0tail. In return, it's N0tail will have to keep his distance. We'll be able to do so. Mind control, of course, getting good farm. Up top.
Breaks this out with the gush there.
Mid lane though, it's been called out by a bit of a move from Jerax. He's trying to switch the Mango in to go for a Mango refraction play, but that 6 seconds far too long. Jerax setting up for Topson in mid and making sure that mid lane continues to be a nasty place for the Weehaw TA to be.
Bounty Rune's going to be spawning as well. Jerax going to try to at least claim one for his team here. We'll be able to get one, Miracle will get the other one as top.
And Mind Control's able to get behind the tower and get N0tail. Push them away, GH.
Well, he kills it.
He knows that Ana's got the time warp. Doesn't want to let Ana have the chance of going for it. Does mean that Ana has the time warp to try and turn and chase towards GH. Another gush from Mind Control will be there though. Slows Ana down and GH will be able to walk out alive.
This is where Jerax now. This is a really important play here. If he can get this set up and kill Weehaw in the mid lane, Weehaw's actually already getting turned with the Veil. Is it enough? Ooh, he's very close. Jerax is already running over.
Weehaw.
He just used the TP to come back mid.
He's going for the walk back.
Jerax knows. There's no shrine available top either. It was used already by the side of Liquid.
He's just going to try and get a little bit out of the jungle whilst he has the mana to play around with refraction and meld.
There's a glyph available, so Topson and Jerax are set up. There's a glyph and it's a 5-minute siege wave. So Topson, he's going to look to just take this mid tower here. GH showing up to try to pull the creep aggro.
Under attack.
We'll only get the 1 creep aggro though for now. This tower, they will be forced to pop glyph
They can turn towards GH. Jerax is down the high ground. Fail's going to be out onto GH. Avalanche for Jerax to try and close the gap to Decrepify into the life drain. He just gets slowly drained down and out. He'll turn with the stick charge and a Fade Bolt. But GH's fate is sealed. Topson.
Jerax is still in the area. He has a toss back. He has a dust too, so he's waiting. Thought maybe he melded there.
Keeping Weehaw away from the lane, away from any chance of finding farm.
I love this, going for this Veil build on Topson. It's super clever being able to get it so early on. It's just applying so much extra pressure that you normally would not be able to do as a Pugna.
It's still Jerax just
toying with him.
Stopping Weehaw from getting close. It's going to take a bit of damage. We'll toss Weehaw back into the Ancients. Avalanche as well, and with the Black Dragons beating down on Weehaw, Jerax is able to trade a good bit of damage.
Might go down here though. GH is walking over, but in the meantime, Ana and N0tail up top are able to get the kill.
Jerax is going to go for the TP in that spot. They do not see him. Telekinesis was still unavailable, so they wouldn't have been able to catch him anyway. OG, this mid lane tier 1 tower, they're pushing it down. Topson's able to play such a fast pace. This Pugna versus TM that he loves bottom.
Oh my goodness. The neutral creeps actually turned onto him while he was getting Impetus. He almost died farming that hard camp.
Or Topson. He dragged down the tower, pops and loses spray out, and TP's out of there. Continuing to toy with Liquid, drawing the attention of 4 members of Liquid towards that mid lane. They don't get him. He's out to safety.
And now Miracle, who he's been having a pretty decent time in that bottom lane, 40 and 6. Enchantress has hit 6. We know what happens when Enchantress hits 6. You get forced out of lane. It's exactly what's happened now to Miracle. As he's pushed to the jungle for the time being. He's going to farm maybe under the tower here.
This is a stiff win.
Miracle camping here. He's pinging it out. He wants someone to rotate because he has the Omni.
Feeling that could be a chance to find some action mid lane. Decrepit 5 setups there. Jax is prepared with the dust. Weehard cannot hide in the shadows. They see him every time and the tower goes down. 8 minutes in. Top lane mind control getting bashed up by Ana and Notel. Another time walk available in a second. Seb running himself away from Kura again into the trees. Gets the heal up with the Omni Slash from Miracle. Will secure the kill down bottom. At the same time up top they find eventually mind control's ties as they continue the chase. An off laner for an off laner.
And they're spamming the taunts because Miracle, he really wanted to hold on to Omni Slash there. He tried to just get the kill with the spin, but it was not enough damage. They're forced to actually throw the Omni Slash to bring down Seb.
And Thompson is just able to pull so much attention towards this mid lane now.
Yep.
He's feeling strong and confident with the brown boots, windlace and veil. He can run around and just be such a nuisance.
And the draft panel mentioned how hard of a Tide Hunter game it was going to be. He controlled a decent start, but now he is completely shut down, has been.
Get the Inkswell stun onto Weehard. GH is there to help out. Another blast. Mind control heading over. He's only level 4 on the Tide at this point.
I think they thought he was higher level than that. Noto throws the silence on him, but it's only level 4 Tide.
They're going to live drain him down. Slows there with a stroke of fate. Will be able to crack his shell off, but Jarex with pixel perfect body blocking there. Oh, I say that. Miracle's going to come over with a blade through. They punish Jarex for it. They do lose mind control. Support for an off lane. And you're just seeing Liquid, they're having to bring the whole team to mid lane to deal with the shenanigans of this Pugna.
And immediately Miracle is now going to start getting pressured again too. He's even going to dig in front. He just dug in front of him. They're having way too much fun.
He's feeling it, Thompson.
They have Ana free farming top, right? This is a treads into Midas Void, who has pushed the Tide Hunter completely out of lane. And like we said, mind control. He's 1 in 3
the Phantom
game
Embrace,
again.
and that is, it's such a nasty combo. Decrepit by Phantom Embrace. There is no counter.
There is no counter.
There is no counter.
Well, until later. Then maybe when they get BKBs. Yeah. Oh, Thompson.
Hey, they may have overlooked him far this time. They surround him. Thompson will fall finally. They're able to get that spooky little skeleton boy out of their half of the map.
But look
him off.
Look at where it's happening. He forces everybody to go from there, and that just solidifies OG to get 4 bounty runners. It hurts because they lose their core, but in a net worth advantage, that actually favors OG.
Oh, it's a 4K lead at 10 minutes in for OG.
And we talked about Midas's. Midas Void coming out soon. Midas Enchantress is already finished, and they're just looking around to keep the pressure going. Mind control, 1 in 3 in the game again, and his job is not going to get easier.
He's got an inventory. He TP's up top. He's going to look for the set of the toss back. Mind control still has not got that 6 in the ravage. GH has got his own level 6. Jarex is going to look to set up on him instead. They'll throw it back into the chrono, catching the 2 of them. OG, they just can't help themselves. They can't stop making plays.
You can just tell how much fun they're having in the game. Spamming the chat wheel, spamming the losers, running around making kills happen, and not stopping. Again, Thompson is what we saw them doing in the last game too, just looking around, running around. Where's Weehaw is the question. That's who they want, as they know he's just going to back up in jungle. This is getting pretty out of control already, a 5K advantage. And they're finding Miracle. Thompson is going to get stunned up.
Miracle, he's got the blade during the Omni Slash to play around with. Soulbline's going to lock the 2 of them down together as Notel's looking to turn, moves in with the Eagle. The Ravage comes out, but they've already lost the 2 of them. They've get Notel a response. But now OG, they could turn and collapse onto mind control, surrounding the Tide. Jarex and Thompson said they're not going to stop chasing this. A trap slow will come out. It doesn't matter. Thompson, another decrepit blast, secures him the triple kill.
He's going for another.
They're not done yet, OGGH. He's got the stolen Inkswell. They'll keep their distance. Jarex closes the gap. GH is enchanted, taken out. Ultra kill for Thompson. 11 minutes in. There is nothing that can stop this man.
This is just getting so out of control. It's just, look at the net worths. They almost have 4 of the 5 top net worths in the game. Miracle has no place to go in the game. He's running around trying to salvage the problems that are happening absolutely everywhere in the game because he's level 7 as Jug. But look at this hero damage. It's 12 minutes in and he has 10,000 hero damage.
Absolutely. You know, this is just numbers that are unheard of this early on in the game. The Thompson Pugna, I mean, they took their chances, right, as we said in the draft.
Pick your poison.
But ban the Monkey King. The Thompson Pugna was always going to be left in. They've got to kill him. They've got to do something about it. They'll surround him. They've got the blade through. They have got the stun. Thompson falling low. From the stick charge, tries to deliver the light cover. They kill him off. Big kill here for Liquid. Can they get more? The rest of OG have turned up. The focus down, Miracle. Anna is coming in with the wraparound, and Anna, he's nearly got the Chronosphere back online. Liquid have to be a little careful how they approach this. Jarek's forcing Weehaw away from the rest of his team. Miracle is trying to run. Chrono's going to be back up in 5 seconds. Quick tread switch and a time warp forward from Anna allows him to close the gap. If he wants to pop the Chrono for this, he brought the 3 heroes. He's thinking about it. The Shrine has been used. They're healing up. Anna trying to find the perfect angle. Noto's coming in with the wraparound. Micro jump back in. No Ravage though. Toss over, keeping them bunched together. Anna, he's still trying to see if he can find that perfect opportunity. He may not even need it. A Phantom Embrace. It's on Micro. The output of the damage from Seb's Impetus is too much for Micro to withstand. There's the catch. Again, Miracle separated. He's shut down. Silenced up. He did get the Blade Fury off, but the Soul Mind Control with the Impetus is far too much for him to deal with. As OG,
oh my god, they keep looking for more.
They're just giving us the repeat of game 2.
In the same exact area, at the same exact time too. It's like 12 minutes in, 10 heroes gathered around the Ancients areas. Weehaw's like, okay, well I can't really fight this. I have to find my own time. Weehaw's actually gonna go for a Blink Dagger to try to match and be able to fight and be able to respond to OG's aggression.
Look at the drag. Onto Jarek with that telekinesis, but again, OG, they just have the numbers here. Liquid are not ready to take these fights.
This is just an absolute dismantling coming up from OG. They're not giving them any room at all. And it's not this time like they have all these long duration ultimates. They're just punishing them for everything. The Jug pick, he's not really farming at all. Weehaw either. Everybody on the side of OG is farming perfectly fine, and they have minuses.
I mean, Miracle, he walks into lane. He nearly dies immediately to the combo. Control on Thompson. Again, that's right with a full outburst, but Jarek takes him out. Mind Control, pops the Ravage. Have they got the damage to finish these shots? They don't. Still alive. He's able to back off, but now again, the rest of OG's turned up. Seb's in the neighborhood. Toss over for Jarek. Kuro and GHB focus the X1 on Jarek. Does it hit Kuro? It doesn't matter. No tail has the stroke of fate, and it's enough alone. As it's now a 10k lead, 3 dead on Liquid, so again, OG will be able to reset, get those bounty rings if they want. They may just keep the pressure on Anna. Down bottom, he's trying to go head-to-head with Weehaw. It's the one bash.
There's more support coming in though. Jarex as well as Notel are in the area. Weehaw will get spooked and push back.
And look at that, just
it's a 10,000 gold lead. The experience is even 10,000. What are they? Let's look at these hero levels. A Thompson 13, Seb 12, Weehaw's 11, but then look at this, it's all of OG at the top of the board there with the levels, with the gold, with everything. So far in this game, they are just dictating the pace and giving no room to Liquid. All the moves are on their side of the map. Liquid, even if they do get some kills, it's all the way pushed back on their side already.
And you really just have to admire this sort of domination. This isn't some sort of slow-paced farming beatdown. It's not this 5-man push. It's just the want to fight, the coordination from OG, the team play, and the lineup that they have is working so beautifully against Liquid in Game 3, just as it did in Game 2. And it's leaving Liquid no chance to really turn things around. He's got the Blink Dagger. But going for that blink first means that he doesn't have sort of that damage output. The fight is being brought to him, and with the blink, if he turns and hits, he's not going to hit hard enough.
I think he's trying to, just like I was saying before, he's trying to make up for the fact that they have nobody else who can really match this fighting pace of OG, but it's a TA into a tough draft that he's against. They expect this Templar set to be coming out, and they've been countering it time and time again, and all these heroes just deal with it incredibly well.
I mean, so who do you go on as this TA? There's an Untouchable Enchantress, there's a Pugner with Decrepify, there's a Void with Time Warp, there's Phantom Embraces, they just have all the answers, OG.
And OG's, look, Ana is pushing bottom by himself, while in the mid lane, they're taking that tower as well. Weehaw is jungling the enemy jungle. This has gotten completely out of hand. OG just, it looks like they have Liquid's notebook and they're just looking through and they're like, oh, this is where they're going to be next. This is what they're going to do next. They just have a perfect read of what Liquid's trying to do in the game.
And Dagger and Thompson now on top of her. Of course, there's already very stacked item build of Veil and Ether Lens.
They might just
17 minutes in.
Thompson's just gonna start poking high ground. He's got an Arcane Rune with these Nether Blasts. He's got the Aether Lens, yeah, like you said. And yeah, tier 3 is gonna start getting poked 17 minutes. We are nearly approaching a 1,000 gold per minute lead to the side of OG with this type of draft.
I mean, Liquid, they're gonna try their best to push this away. OG, they have Chronosphere.
Liquid's wrapping around. They've got a smoke. They've got the Ravage.
Top tower is about to take.
And they catch OG here. Jerax is the one standing up toward the front lines, waiting to see if something does happen. Tower's already dead. They're already working on their axes.
And if Liquid's gonna make a move, they're gonna make it soon, but they're not gonna get the chance to. Jerax jumps in on top of mind control. Phantom embrace upon him. No chance for a Ravage, but he's back immediately.
They know the only way that they can get caught is if it's from a wraparound. Jerax just waiting there in position. They even have an ops. They even put down a sentry to take out Liquid's vision too. Liquid has no vision of these backlines now.
And they're taking the ranks. 18 minutes in.
My God. This is unbelievable.
2 games in a row, but OG is just giving us the showcase of their lifetime.
Like 6 or 7 minutes since Liquid has been able to even find a kill. It's been GH just out of GH has been the one getting them, but it's not even these big ones because, like we said, they can't even get aggressive onto the map at all. As SEPT just continues to stand in the base. He's a bit far forward here.
Looking at the multicast. Banner's going to come in with a backup. They're trying to get on top of at least someone. They'll find nodes out. Anna's surrounded. He still has the goal. He gets the 3 of them. Thompson's able to turn with the light train. Miracle again. Mind control falls back into the corner, making it a beautiful format. Double kill for Thompson. He'll start to run them down one by one, pushing Liquid back towards the bounce in. Mind control. It's a dieback effectively. No buyback available. Still on cooldown for 6 minutes.
They're just playing on a totally another level right now. The way they're taking the fights, even the little things. The Omni Slash comes out on the Enchantress. Ana jumps into tanks it and then pulls the Omni Slash into his team. So that Miracle gets put in a really awkward position, gets caught in the chrono, and like you said too, the toss into the chrono. I've seen them do this like 4 times in the last game, or in this last game already. And Thompson just continuing to reign supreme in the game, constantly looking for these aggressive plays.
Ooh, quick blink out from Weeheart will mean that he won't die this time. But can they come back in this game? Liquid down 15k net worth, down a full set of racks before the 20-minute mark, 25-8 in favor of OG.
16,000 gold lead. They're going to get themselves at least 3 bounties, over 10,000 experience lead, and that Dota Plus does say the 99% right now. So only a 1% right now for Liquid. It doesn't feel as well.
They actually get it down. We are able to get in with the blink mail. Can they get more out of this no-tail? Will pick up the rune, has Thompson by his side, but Liquid they're chasing. They'll look to move on to the high ground, turn around there. Jackson in with the combo, the healing wall is not enough to keep Miracle alive. Miracle's dead for over a minute as OG. They can now go back to chasing for more. GH tries for the TP out, Seth finds him, doesn't get enough damage in time. GH will escape, Decrepify's there. Liquid, they do get in, take down a second as they'll find no-tail with the top back. Avalanche for Jared, catches the 2 of them. He's got the invis, they don't have detection. Got AoE.
With the refraction.
They will let him be. He's going to be able to blink, or is he? He's not going to be able to blink. He's not going to be able to blink. Thompson.
The ward is down. He pops refraction. He gets hit by the damage. He can't actually blink. Gets put back on the cooldown immediately. My God, these fights. I mean,
look at the tie. Thompson's 17-2-7.
17-2-7.
He's making this look like the easiest game of his life. He really is.
Yeah, he really is. It's hard to even like point out all the other things, like how well Jerax is playing as well in this game. Just always being in the right place, getting these incredible toss combos. Because Thompson, like you said, has 17 kills at the 21-minute mark.
He's been involved in 24 of the 28. Thompson, he really is. He's the mid that everybody wants on their team. This is the pinnacle of the Dota 2 mid player.
Especially for the carry player. Any carry looks at this and like, wow, I wish my mid player would go around killing everybody every 5 seconds. It's looking pretty out of control here as it's a 19,000 gold lead and they just keep this aggression. Liquid just can't even get their lanes pushed out in this game.
Radiant's top tower is under
all stacked up outside the base. OG keeping them trapped inside of there. They have everything ready. They have all their tools available to fight.
They've got a run of HLs on set now as well. Find the jump in with the Ravage. Weeheart's in as well. Do they have the damage outside? They do. They kill on Thompson. There's a lot of money going away for Oki though. Can they get more out of this? Omni Slash bouncing around Jared. A buyback comes out for Thompson. He wants to rejoin the fight. As OG turns, they'll get one. There's the setup again. Anna with a 3-man chrono catches them all. Double kill for Anna. The top up disabled. Taking down Miracle. The Phantom embraces on Corona. Chase him up to the base. Triple kill for Anna. 2 buybacks to come out from Liquid, but no Tide or Juggernaut available to offer their their services for this defense.
And they've already used everything. The Tidehunter Ravage, Jug Omni. I actually think Mind Control may have sold some of his items just to be able to purchase that Blink Dagger for the fight. And even then, they can't even come close to coming out ahead of it.
I mean, they got Thompson.
They got him, but he's back.
That was it. They'll get another jump in. Mind Control trying to commit. Jarex returns with the tossed avalanche combo. Mind Control out of the game once more. Riaz trying to jump in, find at least Thompson, but he's not going to get it. OG surround him, outnumber them, a toss up, back to the grave. GH is dead, GG is called. OG take game 3, and dare I say even in a more devastating fashion than game 2. It didn't look like it could get any worse for Liquid after that second game, but I think it just did.
I think they have to find a different type of draft. I don't think the Tidehunter plus the Templar Assassin can work when you're playing versus OG. They seem to just know exactly what they want to do versus it. With this Grimstroke, even with this Pugna, even with the Enchantress as well, I think you have to find something else for Liquid here. Otherwise, we could just have another replay in the next one. OG just seem to know exactly how they want to play.
Five seconds remaining.
Better with the kind of team atmosphere, team psychology. Maybe being a bit of a goon as well to make sure people have fun and have a good time and can rebound from losses. Other times you need someone who's a bit more strategically focused or analytical. Kind of really depends on what the team needs. The Dota 1 trend you mentioned is kind of interesting because last year OG's coach was also an old Dota 1 veteran. So is this a new trend? Is this a thing? Do the top teams have to go find someone from Dota 1?
Yep. We're gonna find out if we are gonna have a 5th game to the series or if OG is going to be back-to-back champions right now. It is time for Game 4 of the Grand Finals of the International.
The Dire get a ban.
Radiant's turn to bat.
Game 4 beginning with the draft. I'm joined by Pylai and Gunner, but don't get too comfortable, all right? Pi, I got a question for you. If it was newbie grand finals and there was a lot of talk about coaches, if AUI is like, I'm gonna give another TA another go, what would you be your reaction? Are you gonna be like, all right, you're the coach, you know what's best, or are you gonna be like, dude, this TA is really not working out?
I mean, I would at least give him a minute to explain. Okay. Like, I would hope he would have a reason, you know, like, and then I would listen to it, and then after that I would decide. But I would probably I would not want to do it. That's how I'm feeling like right now. I'm not in the finals or anything. I'm not drafting here, but I'm just not feeling that hero.
Yeah, and if we're trying to find symptoms of why Liquid are just getting obliterated in these past 2 games, it definitely seems like the Templar Assassin is not helping them.
Yes. It just seems that it has too many bad matchups versus Thompson's favorite heroes that run you over. Because I can see the idea why they think it would be good, like all these traps to make it hard to run in. But if you lose your lane that bad, and it's also affects, they're losing that lane and they're losing every other lane these past 2 games. And when you do that, I don't know, what do you do? It's just extremely hard to play.
I think, like you said, it's really not good against Thompson's hero pool, right? Like TA, Thompson's not a standard mid laner, right? I don't think you see him as this TA, SF, Storm, right? Yeah. You see him as this Pugna, Monkey King, you know, Ember to an extent, right?
And then I guess Invoker, but even
Invoker, stuff like that. And TA beats all the standard heroes, so everyone's really used to playing against TA. And all his heroes are just good against TA. So it's like you said, he's just kind of used to, I'm pretty sure, just beating TA and TA.
And as as we see the first phase bans. What's the new change? Elder Titan gets banned out, and guess what slips through? It's the IO. OG immediately snap it up.
Yeah, they haven't lost, yeah.
Pi, you were a victim of some Ana IO. What was that experience like?
No, it's one of those, like, the game was, we're feeling pretty good. And then suddenly, like, when that hero hits his timing, like 15 with Ags, like, you're just dying. Like, you're just dying. And I think it's not very complicated to play for. Like, they don't really care how he does in lane. Like, they want to do fine. But then he's just farming jungle. Like, that's all he does. And he has a very, like, he looks at a fight, right? And he's like, if I want to be there, I click the spell and I'm there. If I don't want to be there, I'm just going to continue to farm.
It's like having an alchemist combined with a specter in one hero.
A little bit. Like, he doesn't farm that fast, but he farms, like, he doesn't farm that much slower than anyone else. And he has insane timings.
His timings are just like better for the gold he gets than most other carries. His 15 Ags is like,
yeah, it's
probably the best 15 timing, I think, in the game right now.
Probably.
Now, before talking about our game, it was like they first pick ET, right? And I'm like, oh shit. The Wisp is in the pool. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna pick Wisp. And like everything, like I had thought about, like everything just looked weak. Like everything just felt weak. And then like, yeah, but then you take a deep breath, you just go with whatever, and like we can do this.
And Liquid take a breath, and they go for the Chen, which did bring them success in their first game, and they take the Omni Knight, which OG had picked earlier.
I'm a little surprised they didn't go for AA. I believe it's been banned out every game here, because like
because the Alchemist AA.
Yeah, it's Alchemist. It's good versus, pretty good versus Shen, pretty good versus Omni Knight. I don't think OG will pick it here though. It's kind of awkward going with a Wisp.
They don't really have stuns either.
Yeah. So I'm hoping Liquid have like, you know, their last pick, right? So they have like a lot of avenues opened up now.
I'm a little scared right now of this Wisp because.
Only a little.
Yeah. Okay, so commonly...
Wait, of this Wisp or for this Wisp?
Oh,
okay.
Because commonly you want like a hero that gets on top of this Wisp, right? Especially that 15 timing. He's scariest when his balls are max range.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's able to like chase you, and then you get slowed. So if you get a little closer, he pulls him in a little, and he stays at this like max range basically. Neither of those heroes are full commit heroes, right?
Right.
The Omni can supplement like one if you have like an Ember, say, right? He can go in with a Grace, and that's decent, but these two are more like you want to fight, and they want you to fight into them, right? They want you to find this Chen and this Omni for a lot of heal. And I think that's playing the Wisp's game right now.
This actually reminds me a bit. Liquid plays Secret, right?
Yeah.
And I believe Secret picked Wisp one of the games.
Yes,
they did. And it was one of those, like, and Liquid had a similar like thing going on there with like a lot of heal, and like they would push down buildings, and they just didn't let Secret get to their timings. Like they already had a Rax before Wisp was level 15.
Wasn't that was that the Meepo game though?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it was the Meepo
so
game.
Meepo is banned out.
Meepo's already gone. Yeah. So now I'm hoping. That's why I'm like, I'm hoping they have something, because you need this extreme, like it just kills everything that's in front of it. So maybe a Leshrac or something like that. Lesh is gone, so...
Yeah, OG's been consistently banning that.
Yeah, because I don't want them to end up with the Lifestealers. Yeah, I don't...
Other teams had tried the Lifestealer against the IO and it did not work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too slow, right?
Yeah.
Like you get this Mighty's Radiance timing and you're still weaker than the Wisp.
Yeah. And they also have to... Okay, there's a tiny pick, but Jarex has played it now, Thompson has played it, so they'll probably like hold on a bit. They'll see who plays it later. Because we played against the Bristleback mid with Io, and that was spooky. That was frightening.
The other ones they played are Gyro mid, Troll mid, and Windrunner mid. So a bunch of these like attack speed or attack targets, I guess, steroids kind of thing.
So in this Secret versus Liquid game that Team Secret had picked the IO, Liquid went for a Chen, a Tidehunter, an Earth Spirit, a Leshrac, and a Meepo.
Yeah.
So the Meepo and Leshrac are banned out. Tidehunter's still available, but we're not enthusiastic about that hero. But Bristleback gets selected instead.
This was Liquid versus... Or no, this was Secret versus Vici, right? But they picked Omni Bristle versus the Alk.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they ran this Omni Bristle and they won the game in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I hope that's what they're going for. I mean, I'm guessing that. And I think they kind of stole it a bit from OG now too, the Bristle. Limited their options.
OG had a Wisp, right, with it though? It was like Omni Bristle Wisp.
Yes.
That was way scary, but they have a Chen to kind of like take place of the Wisp.
Dire's turn to kill.
Most likely a no-tail of that.
Yeah, because I feel like how the drafts are setting up, like Liquid actually have a chance here to get a draft that they can end this game quickly.
What about a 3 ABBA?
Yeah.
Are you late in against the Omni Knight?
I mean, I'm guessing that's like something like that. I haven't really seen. I know that RNG played a lot of Abaddon.
Some of the Chinese teams play
Yeah.
3.
I didn't look at a lot of reviews though. I'm not really sure how strong is in lane or what his timing.
They go like 0-2-1. They skip miscoil early, and then they go early like Vlad Solar Crest and just kind of buff your team up. Yeah, sometimes they'll just straight up take curse at 1 and just harass.
Yeah, just hit people.
Yeah.
So they picked Liquid pick Earth Spirit, right? Last time they were against Wisp,
Right.
Secret game.
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of like confident, right, with what happened.
I think they're feeling pretty good right now.
But they're still lacking the most important thing in that draft, in my opinion, which was the Leshrac and the Meepo. These are heroes that take structures during the downtime period, which Bristleback can kind of achieve that, but he needs some levels and some farm. He's definitely much slower than a Meepo or a Leshrac.
Yeah. So the last pick for Liquid is interesting. But on the other hand, like they'll see OG's picks now, and
Timbersaw. So a hero that can deal with Bristleback, obviously, if you have reactive armor, then you're not too concerned about Quill Spray being spammed on you.
Yeah, I mean, for OG, it's good that they picked this, because they need to buy time when Liquid are running down lanes. Like, they can cut waves, spam out creep waves, so they need something like that.
How does this Wisp scale to like 30, 35, 40 minutes? Like, do you think this
games never go late enough?
Yeah, no, I have a feeling, like, if Liquid don't have, like, a substantial advantage by Wisp hitting 15 with Axe, I think this game is going to be really hard for them. It's just too much consistent damage without them being able to go on. Like, they have an Abaddon just shielding this Wisp, right?
Yeah,
like, if it gets to that point, then Liquid are not ahead. I think this... We still have one more pick. Like, maybe they'll pull something out. But how it's looking right now, like, they need to get an advantage within the, like, first 20-25 minutes.
So even if the game's even at, like, 25 minutes, you think they'll lose, right?
Yeah. I feel OG should be
what a great hero Wisp is these days.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, this is nothing new. IO being first phase picked is a very common thing in Dota 2 history. It's just not in this role, exactly.
No, exactly. No. That's the funny part. You're just first picking. Everyone knows it's your carry. It's carry Wisp right there.
I mean, I don't think it's had this high of a win rate, right? I think it has like maybe 1 loss.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember like that. I think it was TI when it was released, like TI 3, I guess. Then I'm pretty sure the win rate was insane.
The first TI that he showed up was pretty insane.
Yeah.
Even though it was very Western biased, very few Chinese teams were doing it. I think it was just eHome at the time with their tinies and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
that was like TI 2, I think. And they won every game they played.
That's right.
Really? Yeah.
But other teams were still sleeping on it. Every single. That's one of the reasons why I considered Liquid. I had mentioned this on an earlier draft panel. Earlier in the season, Liquid weren't looking too great, and it's because IO wasn't in captain's mode.
Yeah.
Because you had a free ban against Liquid every single time.
Yeah.
Just now, it's a carry IO, which it's a brave new world.
The funny part about the carry IO is it's not some high skill cap. It's nothing like that. It's
pretty straightforward.
It's very straightforward. It's
you go Bassi.
Yeah.
You buy your Helmet Dominator.
Yep.
You buy Ags. You buy Heart.
Yeah. Win the game.
And once you have Heart, you can ditch your Hod creep and tether your mid laner.
Yeah.
Or your off laner.
Which, that's a good question. So do you think OG are going to look for someone to enable with their IO, like how they did the Bristleback in the past, or is the dude self-sufficient enough that if you have like the Tiny and the Timbersaw, that's the only partner you need?
Yeah, I'm a little curious how they're thinking about the lanes here. I don't think Thompson plays Timbersaw.
I haven't seen it before.
So
it may have happened.
I'm guessing this is an off-lane Timbersaw.
Radiant's turn to pick.
Do you think there's any world where this Wisp is not carry?
Now there might be, actually.
I think it's a mid gyro.
Okay.
Off lane, there's side lane Timber versus this Bristleback.
Yeah.
And then a 4 Tiny, a 5 Abba.
One Anna. Okay.
That sounds about what they would do. No, because I think if Wisp is still viable as a 4 with gyro. Because that lane, if you play that right, it's really strong.
Or you can just let both of them be cores, and then it's really, really strong.
Then it gets extra spice.
So Liquid needs a carrier or a mid, depending on what they want this Bristle to do.
OG is expecting it to be a mid because they banned the Shadow Fiend.
So I think the Bristle gyro lane is actually decent for the Bristle.
Okay.
So it's not going to be a Templar Assassin, but we'll go to another Weehawk Classic. It could be the Wind Ranger.
I like the idea of the hero better. I don't know how good it is this game. I'm not sure. I actually don't think it's that good. But like the idea is correct. Like you have spells that you can use on them.
It has a lot of damage that they can actually kill the Wisp at the start, right? Even through shield, I think. Wisp is killable if the winner has like MKB, BKB.
Right.
You can't really stop him. Wisp doesn't really go MKB either for the evasion, so
it's rare. But I guess also in a traditional sense, like IO being tethered to another unit, gives potential shackle targets, stuff like that. But this is the last potential game for Team Liquid. Will they be able to stay in this grand final bracket? Maybe Purge can give a little bit more explanation as we pass to him with the last word.
If you guys are just getting here, IO is the carry that has been dominating the tournament, at least one of them, and Liquid gets a chance to see if they can break it, but the downside is that they don't get the same heroes that they were able to use earlier to defeat it, so it's going to be a lot harder to beat it. So what they ended up doing instead is trying to abuse Chen. One of the benefits of Chen is that his aura increases the healing that any of his nearby allies or creeps give, and they're pairing that with another hero that can heal, Omni Knight. So those two guys can heal and buff up their strong tanky hero Bristleback and make him pretty close to unkillable. But on the other side, what OG's playing around with is also pretty strong. They've got Io, they've got the Tiny, they've got Abaddon who can also buff up, but most importantly they have Timbersaw. And Timber's a hero that has some flexibility in how effective he is, but most importantly his first skill will reduce the strength or primary stat, and there's a lot of strength heroes over on the Liquid side, so it's very possible that Timber can run away with this game if he has a good match. Keep an eye on him. Without further ado, Game 4 of the TI Grand Finals. Let's start at the casters.
Thank you, Purge. Game 4. OG up at the moment in this best of 5, 2-1 against Liquid. Their last two games, some of the most dominant performances we've seen from them from the entire tournament. In this game 4, Liquid, they have had the chance to switch it up. We're not seeing the TA. We are going to be going back to the Weehaw Wind Ranger. It is something a little different. It's something we know he's good at, but is it good enough to beat the OG IO, Giannis?
They've definitely looked to go for something that's more early game centric. The last two drafts, they went for the Tidehunter, the TA, and the Chug, or Tidehunter, TA, and Lifestealer. Very slow paced draft. This time, they get their Chen. They've been very good with the Chen, as we saw them also playing it earlier on today. They're very good at playing aggressive and making moves around the map, either with GH playing a Tusk or GH playing Ursprite. I feel like I always see them having one of these two combos with that Chen to make those moves around. And Bristleback too. This is a very early paced hero, as we see the Goo as well as the Spray get picked up at 1 and 2, and you are pretty much the strongest hero on the map when you have that. And we see them immediately set up with an aggro tri-lane. They have a Headdress on Kuroki for that extra health regen, and they really want to put the pressure to shut down Ana on the IO.
Let's see if they can do it. We saw some scary stats on the Ana IO lowering into this game. He is 19-1 in the last 20 games he's played. And of course, here at TI, 5-0. No one has been able to beat him. Liquid are going to have to see if they can do it in their last chance in.
No-tail, this is the Goo that we're talking about, that really strong level 1. Are they going to actually be able to dive him, though? He has a shield available, and they actually can. Doesn't have a salve on himself this time around, though, like he did in the last 2 games. And also, I believe with the carry IO, not every single time, but they did have an Elder Titan with it most of the times, where that's where I feel like it helps a lot when you're playing into aggro lanes, because you cannot aggro tri-lane into an Elder Titan most of the time. So this time it's going to be a Abaddon who's not nearly as strong as that ET.
Oh, we'll see Liquid with that start, able to make sure that the creep wave meets underneath the tower so they can get them the creep equilibrium in their favor. Very interesting to watch some of these other lanes, see how Weehaw can get off to a start against the Topson mid Gyro. He should have a decent shot here, right, in this 1v1?
Yeah, he should be able to. He has higher base damage. Yeah. The thing about Gyrocopter is you have this godly animation. One of the best animations in the game that's absolutely instant on range zeros, and you have missiles, and you have a Tiny who's going to constantly be throwing Weehaw back into the tower.
That's a lot of hands there, and it all looks to add up. They drag him back. He's got the point in the win run, looking for the body blocks. Jarex won't be able to quite get it entirely, but still able to get a good amount of damage done. Weehaw in mid.
Has to be careful for that next toss back as Jarex is going to go for it again.
He is. Jarex going deep behind the tower, seeing if he can have the control. Up he goes with the toss. Topson closing in. Win runs back online. As Weehaw can hold his distance, but OG already getting incredibly aggressive in this middle lane.
It's the way they like to play with the Jarex on the Tiny. Just run around, shut down the mid laner. Doesn't matter what hero it is, you're going to be able to just throw him every single time he walks up for a toss. Weehaw, he gets his full salve off.
We're certainly seeing, though, down bottom, this tri-lane, it is able to bring these heroes down pretty low. Obviously, the question is if they can push them over the edge and get the kills, but the aggression certainly is there. And once the level 2s come out for the 3 members of Liquid, we'll see that pressure amped up even more. Jax is going to come down. Now turn this duo into a tri-lane from OG as Kuro pops the Purifier, won't save him. Miscall from No-Tail, gets the kill. Now Ana's going to be the focus. Miracle and GH trying to get on top of him, but a quick body block from No-Tail and a shield handed over to Ana will mean that Liquid cannot chase any further.
Just eyes on Jarex, right? Jarex is going to just move from lane to lane to lane, looking to just punish the aggressive tri-lane of Liquid, as they can't really respond too well. Chen, not really a hero that wants to be moving around TPing at all. It's GH who has to respond to any types of ganks that Jarex does, and it doesn't feel nearly as good as an Earth Spirit. He's kind of limited on mana as well.
So we sort of talked about the mid, talked about the bottom. This top lane, 1v1, Seb versus Mind Control, the Timber versus the Omni. What do we expect from this matchup?
I haven't gotten to see this one too often, but I think that they're both going to just be able to farm. I think Seb might actually be able to bully Mind Control a bit, just because you don't have to worry too much about your regen. While on Mind Control, you have to worry about your mana sometimes. But I think they're both going to just end up trading farm and pulling creep waves and whatnot like that, so should be relatively even.
Well, definitely seeing that this pressure down bottom is continuing to make sure it's very hard for Anna to farm with the rolling onto Notel. Liquid take one out of the lane. Anna only being able to get 4 CS so far in this bottom lane. Already Liquid's change up in draft and different approach. It's looking so much better here in the first 3 minutes of game 4.
Oh, for sure. 16 and 11 on Miracle, right? He's getting all these free last hits and denies.
They are running this bottom lane perfectly, keeping this tri-lane advantage.
Top is just manipulation of creep waves, because I think Mind Control is starting to realize that if he stays toe-to-toe versus the Timber, he's going to have some problems, so he's cutting the wave. Bottom. Jarex is running over toward the area. He's only level 1 though, so still not having that stun available for the Tiny just yet to go for those toss back into the tower and stun plays. And it looks like they will be constantly burning the mana of Notel with this Satyr Mind Stealer that is keeping him very low on mana.
For Liquid, obviously interested to keep this pressure on, and then they have to find objectives with it. Anna at the IO will have that comeback mechanic, sort of once he hits the level 4, going into the jungle, using the spirits to farm those neutrals. So they've got to make as much as they can happen in this favorable lane setup that Liquid have. Another commitment on towards Anna, separating him from Notel, to be able to tether himself back across, so if they can beat down through this overcharge. Notel pops the stick charges, the spirits are out. Turn towards Miracle, but Mango's popped. He still has the mana to fight with. Another shield will hold them off.
It really is a pretty fun lane though coming out from OG, right? He's like, oh, I just healed the IO, and the IO heals me. So they're going to be able to always do that and be able to remove all those goose stacks off with the shield as well. It's actually a really clever lane coming out. And he's even maxing, or putting multiple points inside that miscoil for the health efficiency. He miscoils the IO and heals himself for even more because of that.
5-minute runes come up. And OG, they want to try and tackle this 3-on-3. Notel doing his best to draw their attention away. The avalanche is out onto Miracle. Jax tries to chase the other, but Liquid they'll be able to grab both of them. Taking the bouncy runes away. Only the one going the way of OG up top. As Liquid continuing to look like this different approach to the lanes is certainly the answer they've been looking for.
They're not killing them though. They've only killed Notel once because of how many stick charges they're getting fed down here. The Bristleback just constantly spamming the Quill, spamming the Goo. Everyone's sitting at like 10 stick charges every time they try to make an aggressive move. Now Miracle is up a bit far here.
Jarex is going to be able to make sure that Miracle cannot make the smooth run up towards the top, and never shields out for Notel. He may be low, but he's more than safe. Jarex with the toss-up. GH pops the stick charges. He's trying to escape Notel, keeping on top of him. That Aphotic Shield's going to pop soon. It may not even need to. GH is running. One more right click or a miscoil out. That'll do it. The shield pops to get the kill. Anna does fall though. Liquid getting the trade.
Nice. He actually did not pop his magic one there. A bit too much damage coming in. I think the Alpha Wolf and the right click from the Chen caught him off guard how much it actually was there. But mid is the big one. These rotations from Jarex from earlier, Thompson has over a full level advantage onto Weehaw.
He's struggling.
34-13 to the 19-4. This animation and just getting that extra rate fed early really coming into play. And on him.
Roll up for GH, but a great toss from Jarex keeps Anna on top of the Earth Spirit. Spirits are out though. So the damage looks like it may not be there unless they can keep the vision, and they can. Tossed in, stick charge pop though. GH has got Miracle by his side. They won't be able to dive for him, and Liquid keep them all alive.
But, so they've done a good job bottom of making sure that Miracle's farmed. Thompson though getting aggressive top onto Mind Control. Should have chased this one out. They're kind of out of mana. They popped the Shrine for some mana or the Timber, but Mind Control will be fine. Liquid being forced to use their bottom Shrine too, because the one thing that they're doing, they were putting pressure on and they were getting good farm, but the sustain that's actually coming out from this bottom lane is just too much for them a bit here, as Ana is starting to get this farm built up to those 20 last hits.
Draw a line to Radiant's middle tower.
The mid lane seems to be the focus for Liquid. They've left Miracle alone. They're trying to collapse in onto Thompson. Thompson gets the cooldown off, but the Hellbear smashes in with the clap. Liquid making these moves around Kuro and his army. Getting the pressure on, catching out Thompson mid. Gotta keep this tempo up. They're starting to really show that they have within them what OG's been bringing in the first 7 minutes of the last 2 games. They can match this tempo.
And look at Miracle, but down bottom, even bullying away these 2 heroes, even though they do have all their one charges built up, now up to 17 as well. He is pushing them away from the creep wave. That double sustain though coming into play.
Back to Morris mid, another collapse in from Liquid as they look to dive in on Jarrex. They get the kill. Thompson's going to look to try and turn, keep himself on top of Kuro. He has his army ready to tank some of the damage. Thompson is not going to be able to get this kill by the looks of it. Another one charge from Kuro keeps him back alive. The cooldown will be dropped, but Liquid, they can get themselves out of range of it.
They have so much damage in the mid lane right now from Liquid. If Weehawk rushing that Javelin build, he's able to actually punch back onto Thompson pretty hard there every time he does commit forward for a kill. Gives a lot of time to Sep though, as they made that 4-man rotation earlier. Now he's only up to level 8. He's got the max reactive armor.
Same to be said though for Mind Control. We're seeing pretty much continuation of an even farm between these offlaners.
Yep.
They're both getting exactly the same amount out of this top half of the map. And so far, no one else has been interested in coming over and getting involved. Now, though, that will change. GH and Kuroki, they're looking towards Sep. Gonna bring in Weehawk as well. Weehawk. But the focus fire, have they got the control? There's the rolling with the stun. Shackle shot follow up from Weehawk, along with the power shot. Will do it. Liquid making the maneuvers to put Seb's happy little time on that top lane to an end.
Great use of the Divine Favor there from Kuroki to bring Weehawk around freely and saving his TP. So he can constantly be able to move around the map if he has to respond to anything else. Very nice aggressive move, and that's the Javelin coming into play. Since it's magical damage, it's 100 bonus magical damage when you use that focus fire versus Timber. Who cares if he has 25 reactive armor stacks? They get themselves a decent amount of pressure on the tower too, getting it down to about 700 HP right now.
Seb's going to come back in, make sure that tower doesn't fall too early.
GH is already moving his way toward top. They don't have another Divine Favor to bring into the win range here.
I feel like it's a hard kill without that damage that Weehawk offers.
Feels like an impossible kill without Weehawk.
The 3 of them can only sort of sit aside and watch as Seb farms the wave under the tower.
Yeah.
See what their intentions are with this move. 10-minute runes are going to come up. See if Liquid can keep a favorable hold of them this time. Mid lane's going to be the focus. TP's coming immediately, and he shacks the shackle off actually before the missile connects. He's able to turn right click into Jarrex. He's tanking the tower to Jarrex. Lines of the power shot. He's not going to be able to find it though. Doesn't get the angle, and Jarrex, he can continue to walk away. Liquid are chasing, and the power shot will be available in a second. Can Weehawk hit it? He's going to try. Not going to find it. Jarrex, he's got the position to TP out behind the trees, and will make it back to safety. But Weehawk does flip.
They waste so much of their time there, and even a TP to protect Weehawk. What does that mean? That's just the space. This is what OG wants to do, right? Allow Ana to catch back up after he had a little bit of a rough laning start and get the Dominator, and the Dominator is finished now at this 10-minute mark. So that is where you really start to get enabled quite a lot in the IO to make your moves around the map. But Liquid, they're trying to keep the pressure going. Don't let OG get away with that greed that they're trying to pull off right now. Try to get some tower damage. Every single time a tower is going to start getting pressure, though, you'll see this rotation by Sep. He wants to make sure they don't actually get any of these towers too early. He doesn't have many reactive stacks built up just yet. But he will get
mid lane Thompson. You see a dive in from Weehawk. Weehawk tried to close in for the kill, but he didn't have the damage to bring Thompson down. Thompson was able to just drop the combos. Weehawk, he got in close range for that attempt.
And you got to be careful as well. Ana, he's jungling in the area, so he can just easily tether up. I don't know if he actually did the overcharge there, I didn't catch the end of it, but he can easily tether it and you can get a little bit of extra HP regen that comes into play.
Looking for Jarrex.
Jarrex again.
And then with the magnetized, TPs will now start to come into play. Thompson's here, Jarrex still alive. They're trying their best to hunt him down through the trees. He'll be able to toss back the Hellbear Smasher. Rockets drop to keep the magnetized going. They'll get the kill on Jarrex. See if they can find anything in return. OG Thompson is on top of Kuroki. GH, Weehawk joining the gang. They're surrounding Thompson with a Divine Favor. Bringing Weehawk in. Liquid, they're going to be able to get both of them. Kuroki making these moves across the map, bringing in the team when required. Kuro, he's 3, 1, and 4. Every single one of these 7 kills has been down to Kuro and his map movements.
And his aggressive plays. And there's not expecting these recalls. They're not expecting these divine favors at all. Every single time he's been able to set it up. And he's almost got a mech finished up on this Chen so early on. It's going to be a lot of burst heal. And like the draft panel mentioned, you look at Liquid's draft, and they're really trying to set the tempo. They're trying to be aggressive, get early towers down with this Chen, with this Bristleback, and try to get an early roast and get that big advantage to take advantage of carry IO. You have to try to take advantage of it somehow.
They're waiting there on the high ground and immediately burst through the Aquatic Shield. NoTail is trying to run. The smash is after him. NoTail's got the backup of Anna. Mind Control's going to head in. Liquid, they're diving on forward. GH will be kept safe by the Heavenly Grace. Kuro, they've done a little tip by this time. Will be surrounded. The four of them take down Kuro, put an end to his reign across the map. As OG responding in their numbers now in their middle lane. They won't let Liquid get away with this any longer.
They still, OG has a very strong way to fight, even in the early game. Even if they do have a greedy IO pick, it's what it provides you, especially when you have a Gyro. Gyro is all about that early fights. Same thing with Tiny. And even Timbersaw, but Seb right now, we know he doesn't really want to show up except for the tower defenses. And he's also going to be matching that Chen, who's going to be an early mech. It's actually going to be a mech Timbersaw since they have IO. So this amount of sustain that could come out from OG pretty soon is going to be pretty hard for Liquid to deal with this. Seb, he actually jumps forward for GH.
It goes deep. We are going to turn with the focus by Seb. Of course, he's got the max reactive armor. Thanks to that, Shackle won't latch. Seb continue to back off. Chains out, back over the river. He's fine. Liquid will try and turn their attention towards Thompson, but with NoTail by his side, they cannot dive up to the high ground. Seb holding them back.
5 Liquid heroes in the mid lane. Trying to brawl again at the same time as last game. It's 13 minutes in, and there's 8 heroes positioned around this area. They want to go for NoTail, but he's got ulti.
Miracle's going to continue to chase this under the Titcher, and they will get it. Seb is trying to turn. The missile is down on Akura. Does Seb have the burst? Not quite. Magnetizes out. Seb has to retreat. Shackle does latch. Liquid. They've got the lockdown. They've got the roll ball. The kickback. They'll crush him. Liquid. They're diving again.
On top.
They got a bit of a flavor of how OG was playing in these last 2 games, and they're saying we can do it too. Thompson wants the cooldown. They won't go too crazy. They'll let him live. They don't want to dive up towards the tier 3. They know TPs are coming in.
They have to make sure they're hitting the tower because the side lanes are being split pushed. Ana as well as Jerax are actually pressuring these other 2 towers. They're not even going to get this one here. It's down into deny range. OG might just be able to deny that mid tower if they choose to do so. Liquid with an overzealous dive there, not losing anybody, but the side lanes giving a lot to that Tiny as well as that IO. And we know this is the timing. It's all about just waiting for IO to get not only Aghanims, but get that level 15 talent. That's what OG wants.
He's diving in. Onto Kuro with the flag as well. And the God will not keep Chen alive today.
GH will not get TP'd out. Actually TP's in and gets the toss up at the exact timing.
OG's actually not done. As they are still hunting for action. Miracle the focus. Thompson's got a DD. A power shot does come out. Lands on Thompson.
A bit too aggressive there, but Thompson will throw down the call down just to clear the
The Shackle actually brings it across the trees, but NoTail. He's there with the shield. Thompson goes with the TP out. The focus fire down. The damage is not enough. Thompson save. A spray on the way out. Thompson will escape. Liquid, it's 9-6 in their favor, but the net worth difference, it's pretty much even. As you say, sure, Liquid, they are bringing the aggression, finding the kills, but space is being given to those important members of OG.
Yeah, especially Ana. Halfway to that Aghanims already. Level 11 finished up. He's got the Spirits applied slow, so he can fight as soon as he has that Aghanims, of course, with the talent, but the big one is that 15, that extra Spirit hero damage that does come out. But yeah, look at this immediately. Seb now positioned up top. He wants to push the top tower as soon as Liquid is positioned in mid. And Jerax already looking to set up down toward the bottom lane. Liquid have to just get these towers. Have to get some type of map advantage here.
Once Ana has the Aghanims, things are going to start getting very tricky for Liquid when they turn up like this.
Yeah.
The Spirits will be out.
Yeah, and they have Bristle. That's a good thing, right? Bristle can be good versus the IO. If you can get on top of him, the goo. You don't have the highest armor traditionally on the IO, but he's versus an actual counter. Timbersaw, very good versus Bristleback at all stages.
Fortified their structures.
Just that farm game for OG.
Got mind control. Looking towards Seb up top, but it's hard really for these heroes without the Shackle shot. or GH getting a beautiful angle, it's very hard for them to kill Seb.
It's very hard for them to kill pretty much anybody if they don't have Weehawk. If they can catch some of the supports and running around by themselves, they can maybe pick them up, but they really need Weehawk for the damage. The rest of them do not really provide that at this point of the game versus what they're against. Magnetize can be good, but there's a lot of ways that they can deal with it. Not only with the tankiness to how they are, but also there's an advantage. We just remove it a lot of times.
Dire's top tower is about to take the plunge.
And Seb, he could just get away with this, pushing this wave into the tier 2 every single time, knowing that sure, if Liquid do come for him, it's going to be so many of their resources that it's probably going to be worth it for OG to have Seb positioned that aggressively and for him to draw that much attention towards him. Thompson's getting space, Anna's getting space.
Look at that build by Thompson. Diffusal gyrocopter.
Wait, what?
Diffusal? Gyrocopter, I just said it.
Stretch diffusal gyrocopter. Fancy that, Thompson.
So
doing something that I don't think I've ever seen this.
Kind of. I mean, it's interesting because it's going to provide a lot of mana burn, which is going to be annoying for
Okay.
It gives you a lot of agility, and it gives you ways to run around and chase heroes down, I guess. It's different.
They've got the kill swan getting mobile again.
They can transition this into a Roche. DD rune on the bristleback, they've got pipe. Yeah, they can easily do this one with the medallion as well. However, OG, they know what's going on. They can look to contest this as well as, do they have the Aghanims finished up? It's almost there for Ana. And they're pinging it. They seem, now they're aware of it, but it looks like it's almost too low for them to contest with all this minus armor. Liquid will get away with this one.
Let's see what they can do with it. Aegis pipe, they have those early tools to start making moves. Start looking towards some of these tier 2 towers.
Ags is complete now on the IO. So Ags IO finished, and we're about to hit 20 minutes. So I'm assuming that OG's gonna buy the tome, give it to that IO so he gets the extra spirit damage. Liquid, they gotta group up and try to get something big here. They gotta catch out these backlines heroes. They really have to get on top of the IO with a nice shackle shot until we got to focus firing. They have to control and stun the IO.
Hunting for Anna. Won't quite find, but definitely, yeah, thinking about it, this diffusal blade, I see what you mean. It does make sense, right? There is, you look at what Miracle and Mind Control in particular,
they're completely dependent on their mana.
And they're dependent on the fights being drawn out, right?
Yeah.
They revel in situations where the fight continues. And sure, they can't kill them quickly necessarily, OG, but Thompson, he can burn, he's going to take their mana away, and they're going to be essentially some of these useless, tanky targets on the front that OG can then ignore and look for the more volatile kill.
And he's acting as this like, super frontliner. And Bristleback is a hero that if you don't have mana, you don't have damage. So if he's just going to be burning the Bristle, I can see it, I can see it. And he's super farmed, and look how tanky he is. 2,000 HP on the gyro. There's going to be an MKB finish now for Weehawk, so his damage is going to be very high as Seb's getting slowed down. He's got pretty available, but he's going to burst and then bring it in low.
He's got the shield, now they'll be able to turn. Cooldown drop down by Thompson. And here we have it. Mana's gone, he's able to pop the stick, get it a fair bit of it back, and he's able to head back in, pushing OG back behind the racks. They're getting a good amount of damage onto this tier 3 tower. They quickly push on.
On IO, that spirit hero damage is there now. Ana going to join the fray finally.
There we have it, Miracle's mana. It's pretty much entirely gone by Thompson's version. They can't get out of the mana, GH! He's dead, and now OG, they have that numbers advantage for this defense. They'll try and change the ball. Thompson, they want to barrage, brings Miracle down. There's the shackle turn around and look at the Jarek. Jarek's backing away. Thompson focusing Miracle. Miracle's still out of mana because of this diffusion. Jarek, he's able to call with the GA is out. We all fall. The backing damage is there for Thompson. Miracle's trying to run. Another stick charge pop, but Jarek can shut him off. In fact, Jarek, he's ready to try and look for more potentially. There's only the once. Thompson, he's on top of another corner there. The toss back into the combo. Jarek has the control. They're all getting picked apart as Mind Control falls. Miracle is surrounded, and they're all able to get this as well. OG, they will fall.
And they're even taunting. They toss him to the dragon. Holy crap. Thompson, the diffusal is absolutely working. Burns all their mana.
But I don't think anyone would have expected to see Gyro, the deciding game. The diffusal blade Gyro, it is perfect for this point of the match.
He just did an insane amount of damage, front lines the entire time, and then Ana just has free reign to get all that spirit hero damage, and it's back completely the other way, and it feels like the control is just gone.
What do you do? When your mana's gone, what do you do?
Oh my god. OG. starting to take over the game completely here.
Showing new ways to play the game at this incredibly late moment in the tournament.
And now Thompson has an Aghanims as well, so not only is his regular hits going to be proccing that... yeah, he's going to be burning a lot.
And then just moving into the base now, OG. They're putting in, Flash Shell supports the clip back, they'll focus Miracle. Miracle, get himself out of the way, the missile is out, they're trying to put the heals to save him, but Miracle's dead.
Super damage.
Jackson's in with the combo, they'll bring down GH. GH has buyback, he'll buyback immediately, Weeheart's going to be back up in 5. Fortification is part, but OG they're not going away.
They're too healthy, they still have greens available for Seb as well this whole time. They're pretty, No Tail's kind of low, but once they pop those greens, everyone's going to be topped off.
Tier 3's going down, 22 minutes again, and in a match where it looked like Liquid had the pace to maybe bring something different, but we're back to the same place that we were in Game 2 and Game 3.
There's no stones for GH, he can't contribute anything, there's no magnetize either. They're just taking this rack.
It's gone! They cannot get close to hold this. As OG, we'll see what the plan is next. They'll back off.
They're happy with that, why not? They can back up, clean up Shrine, but I think if Liquid chases out, OG can definitely just turn to look for the fight. They have no cooldowns that they're waiting on. Everything is available for them, and they're just so farmed right now at this point in the game that Liquid, they're walking out together, but like I was mentioning before, there's one stone on GH, and that is it. So his team fight potential, and he's pretty much the only team fighter on the side of Liquid right now. It's just not there.
I know she's ready to go back. And again, Jackson with the round the combo down to Mind Control. Cooldown's there, Liquid out to back off. Again, Mind Control's man pretty much got his ever pop the stick. Get the GA off at least. Can they fight for the duration of it? Though they're getting towards Seb. Heals upon. Sends back pretty much on for Jackson with another combo onto We Are stand up. We Are set. Miracle's the new focus. The missile followed through. OG pushing Liquid back to the base. Mind Control out about it. Thompson with his diffuser blade. Picking them apart. Roll forward for GA%. Cuts him down off the hammer. Double kill. They're pushing on OG. Liquid being forced back to the base. And Liquid have nothing. They have nothing to offer.
They're just giving, look at this, they're driving bout in TI finals. They want Kuroki in the bout as well. They're gonna get it, they're chasing Miracle as well. Oh my god.
I can't believe this. I can't believe what we're seeing in this Game 4. OG, you thought you saw it all in Game 2. You thought you saw it all in Game 3. There it is. Gone. OG, 2-time TI champions. They've done it, folks.
And in what a fashion. These last 3 games didn't even seem close. Liquid, they had something going for themselves, but then they hit the brick wall. OG is the best team in the world. They are on a completely different level.
No question. They are so far ahead of